Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope you guys have a cup of coffee and if you smoke your cigarettes or whatever else you intend to have during this podcast. Good morning, good morning, good morning, Miss Ruby. How are you doing this morning? Wait for a few more people to come in before we start with what I want to talk about today. Oh, I'm sorry, sweetheart. Unfortunately, I know my brother has that, and even though it's just like usually seasonal, depending on what season it comes through for you, it's not a very good thing to have. I'm sorry, sweetie. Hope you get to feeling better. I want to talk about two things, and after I'm done talking about them two things, we can have an open chat, but we're going to have a discussion on two topics, two cases. I got an update and one that I've been following very closely and one that I want to take a look back on. Because I heard they were trying to get a new court trial. Oh, a lot of people got sick that week. I know, especially here in North Carolina, they did. Because our weather is so crazy. It goes up and down, up and down, up and down. Let me go ahead and share this out. I know I should have done that to begin with. I know. I'm slow. I know. I got excited because I heard about the new trial. The update on the case from last year. Yeah, there's quite a few too with me too, Miss Amy. Quite a few with me too. I wish they'd hurry up and start bringing some of these trials. There it is. Yeah. Eva, what are you doing? It makes you wonder, though. It really does. I don't think we're going to get very many more people in here, but that's okay. I'm fine with what we have. Oh, what am I doing? All right. We'll go ahead and start. I know I got late start, so I'll wait for the 10-minute mark and then we'll go. All right, we're going to test this one out and see how this one works, because this is a new laptop I'm using. And I stole it from my mom for the weekend. I wish it was audio. Hold on, let me see if I can find audio. Oh, hello, Marie. Welcome in, sweetheart. I think this is the audio. It just takes time to load for some reason. It does it on all my computers. So, y'all, I heard AOL's trying to make a comeback. Yeah. Everybody's gonna have them, honey. Good morning, Miss Pam. How are you doing, my love? Yes, I did that most of the day yesterday, Ruby. I just tried to stay off of YouTube altogether just to get some peace. Yeah, AOL internet. Another channel that I mod for, one of the bigger channels I mod for, his internet was messing up the other day, and he said because he decided to be one of the test dummies for AOL. Thought it was pretty funny myself. I remember AOL was like dial up back in the day. That was cool. Aw, I'm sorry, sweetheart. But I'm glad you got to come in here and join us for a little bit. Are you on break? Now, let me know, guys, if this skips or anything when it starts, okay? Please let me know.
When all you want is some comfort entertainment, we've got it all on the Nest.
Amazing.
A brand new network filled with reality TV and series that you'll crave.
That's a guarantee.
Go to watchthenest.com to find the Nest in your area.
We're learning some new details in a Mississippi murder suspect's arrest in Smith County. New at noon, we've learned the couple's daughter has also been arrested as a part of that case. According to the Smith County Sheriff's Office, Jeffrey Spence and Karen Spence had active capital murder warrants from Mississippi for the 2022 murder of Kirby Carpenter. Sheriff Chip Chuler telling us that the two had only been in our area for a few months and most recently had been living in the Sugar Grove area. According to our NBC partner station, WTVA in Mississippi, the couple's daughter, Caitlin Spence, was arrested Thursday in Pennsylvania. Investigators say she had been living with the victim at the time of the murder, who was a well-known business owner there in the rural Mississippi County just across the Tennessee line. According to investigators, the trio had long been considered suspects, and a new piece of evidence brought a break in the case that led to the three arrests.
Volunteers in Dickinson County are spreading some goodwill to struggling families this holiday season. News 5's Janya Nordello learns about the Love Project and its impact on the Appalachian region.
I am here in
Yep, so Kirby Carpenter. If y'all don't know him, I did a couple lives on him. Let me see if I can find one of the original posts. All right, here we go. All right. On December 2nd of 2022, the Tippah County Sheriff's Department received a call at an address on County Road 600, Boonville, Mississippi, which is in Tippah County, Dry Creek community. A man was discovered with a gunshot wound at the location. The man was identified as Kirby Carpenter from Tippah County. Investigators from Tippah County Sheriff's Department, along with the Mississippi Bureau of Investigations, was called to the scene. It is current and ongoing investigation. At this time, no arrests have been made as of Tuesday, December 6, 2022. When further details are available for release, Tippah County Sheriff's Department will issue another press release. If anyone has information regarding the death of Mr. Carpenter, please contact the Tippah County Sheriff's Department and Crime Stoppers to leave a tip. We appreciate the abundance of help from the community of Dry Creek, Pine Grove area, and also the citizens of Tippah County who have went out of their way to help us with this investigation. Thank you for your patience, support, and condolences go out to the family during this tragic time. Contact Deputy Josh Bateman or Investigator Chris McAllister with any tip or leads you may have. So that didn't really tell you what happened, huh? There's gotta be something. I'm trying to find something that doesn't have to do with the murder. I mean, the arrest. Because it's not showing me any of the new stuff, old stuff, only all the new stuff. Let's see if we can find it on Wikipedia. How about that? Why does it keep bringing the Scream movie up? This has nothing to do with Kirby Carpenter. Make no sense. Well, maybe if I would have put it on all. God, shit annoys me. There's more about this man on TikTok than there is anywhere. Like they've done a lot of uploads of this case over there. Mm-mm-mm. I'm not finding anything. Let me go back to I know another podcaster did it. But she was the only other one I seen at the time I did it.
What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Danielle Holland, and I am back with another true crime video. And today we are speaking about the unsolved and very mysterious murder of 36-year-old Kirby Carpenter in Tippah County, Mississippi, back on November 30th, 2022. So this is a relatively recent case. Kirby Carpenter was shot in front of his own home on November 30th, 2022, and his body wasn't found until days later on December 2nd by his girlfriend. Now, this case has gone viral across social media, namely TikTok. That's where I've seen it the most. And you guys have made sure to flood my suggestions with Kirby's name. His family only a month ago started a Facebook page called Justice for Kirby to try and get his story out there as far as possible, because honestly, there is just not a lot of exposure. There are a handful of articles with the most bare minimum bits of information. I did manage to find one really great interview that's recently been done, and I have that link down below. But other than that, his family is solely relying on social media to hopefully help them in some way. Now, that being said, a majority of this information is coming from what Kirby's family has publicly shared, so let's dive into it. Those that knew Kirby, even if it was just someone that met him one time, knew what an incredible guy he was. He had a great head on his shoulders. He was the kind of person that was always willing to help someone else out, whether that meant he was paying for someone's meal at a restaurant, or if someone needed gas, he would happily fill up their tank, or just really any other small act of kindness. Kirby was also incredibly successful. This guy was a self-made millionaire. He had opened up and operated 2 liquor stores in both Ripley and Boonville, Mississippi. I do believe he eventually went on to sell those, but he had so many other things he was dabbling into. So he also owned and leased several real estate properties in the area, and it seems like the largest business venture at the moment was his gold and silver business. And what's funny is that, according to his family, Kirby had always been fascinated with coins, even as a little child. So his sister, Casey, has stated that this is probably why all of his business ventures were so successful. It's because he took all of the things that he loved, all of the things that he was incredibly passionate about, and pursued them as a career. So he genuinely loved what he was doing, which honestly, I don't think a lot of people can say that. And something else that he loved just beyond measure was his family. His family is incredibly tight-knit, and they make that so obvious in their search for justice for Kirby. They always maintained contact with each other. He seemed to spend a lot of time with his siblings and his parents. His parents lived only like 5 to 10 minutes down the road. And on top of that, Kirby had gone off and started a family of his own as well. Kirby had 2 children, a 4-year-old little boy from a previous relationship that he had, and they shared custody. And just 4 months prior to his death, he had welcomed a little girl into the world with his girlfriend of about 2 or 3 years. And Kirby, his girlfriend, and this 4-month-old baby.
So I'm going to skip through the part of the knowing him and get to what happened. Hey, Act Right.
Was a tarp. Regardless, on top of that cover and on top of Kirby, if he didn't take any of his cars, they're all still here. He obviously didn't go on a gold and silver deal that maybe went wrong. So maybe he was picked up by somebody. And so they were thinking, we can call. It would still be strange for him to go off for a few days with a friend and not say anything, but it's definitely worth asking. His girlfriend ended up calling this friend and eventually called his mother back to say this friend claimed to have not seen or heard from Kirby either. But they did give a suggestion that Kirby might be behind his house in his deer stand. This is just after Thanksgiving, so hunting season, according to the lovely Google, would have been in full swing in Mississippi at the time. And so this seemed like a plausible answer as to where Kirby had been. Again, it still would have been odd for him to be out there for days, but it was definitely worth checking out. So Kirby's mom offered to send someone to help his girlfriend go and check the deer stand, because keep in mind, she's got a 4-month-old baby. Not just that, this 4-month-old little girl had the flu, and it wasn't just a quick walk to the deer stand behind the house. Usually Kirby would take his side-by-side to get up there because of the distance, but Kirby's girlfriend declined. And she's like, nope, I got this. I can manage it myself. I'll reach out to you when I get up there. She said that she was going to feed their dog, nurse the baby, put the baby in a carrier, and then head out to check. And about 30 minutes or so later, Kirby's mom gets another call from his girlfriend. And she says, you know what? I made it to the deer stand. He's not here. And so she had plans to head back down to the house and they'd figure out what to do from there. But suddenly, in the middle of this phone call, Kirby's girlfriend stops talking and then says Kirby's name 3 times, Kirby, 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 and the phone call abruptly ends. Right away, Kirby's mother ran from her job straight to her car and called her husband, who is Kirby's stepdad, and said, look, something weird is going on over at Kirby's house. He hasn't been seen in 2 days at this point. I was just on a call with his girlfriend that abruptly ended. You're only 5 to 10 minutes away. Please go over there because you can get there faster than anybody else. And around the same time that Kirby's mom was making this call to her husband, Tippah County Sheriff's Department was called out to the home on County Road 600 by Kirby's girlfriend. She
Already starting to sound suspicious, doesn't it? Let's listen to this a little bit more.
It called to report Kirby down with a gunshot wound. When Kirby's stepdad arrived at the home, he pulled into the driveway and saw that Kirby's truck was parked in its usual spot. So the driveway came up to a 2-car garage. He typically parked on the right side. The door of that garage just stayed open. From my understanding, it was malfunctioning and they used this to go in and out. The garage itself was only used for storage. I think he had one of his motorcycles in there. And so nothing really seemed amiss. Everything looked as it usually did. And when he pulled up, he didn't hear anything. I don't know if he was expecting to maybe hear some commotion. We got out of his car and walked past Kirby's truck and started to head into that open garage door to get into the house and figure out what was going on. And the second he stepped foot into the garage, all of a sudden to his right, he hears Kirby's girlfriend screaming. So as I stated, there's the 2-car garage, Kirby's truck on the right side, and to the right of that is a carport. Kirby's girlfriend was on the other side of that carport, kneeling on the ground, holding their 4-month-old baby, seemingly still on the phone with 911. She was maybe 25 feet away, and beside her, he saw...
Thank you, Act Right. I appreciate that so much, sweetheart. Just been a lot of drama in the last couple of days, and I'm just, like I said, over it all.
Kirby's boots kind of poking out. Now, when he got closer, he saw that this was clearly Kirby on the ground. Kirby's feet were facing towards the house, but strangely, Kirby's body otherwise was covered up. Now, I have not seen it stated what exactly this covering was. I have no idea if it was a sheet, if it was a tarp. Regardless, on top of that cover and on top of Kirby was also a truck toolbox, like a very large truck toolbox. And so the stepdad's first thought is, oh my gosh.
All right, so if you guys don't know what a truck toolbox is, it's one of those ones that fits from side to side and fits down inside the bed and usually goes up against the cab of the truck. So just picture one of those big ones.
Here's the answer. This truck toolbox fell on him.
More than likely full, too.
He can't get it off. He's stuck. And so he panics and runs over to try and shove the toolbox off of Kirby. And then all of a sudden it hits him. But why is Kirby's body covered up? So he stopped for a second and decided to pull back the covering and realized Kirby had been shot and he was no longer alive. Within minutes, first responders arrived and Kirby's stepdad immediately went down to meet them, gave them a brief synopsis of the very minimum details that he had at this point. And then they walked over to where Kirby's covered body was and where Kirby's girlfriend was still kneeled beside him. And she allegedly immediately states that Kirby had ended his own life. Statement took Kirby's stepdad entirely by surprise because this didn't at all sound like Kirby. And according to what Kirby's stepdad has told everyone else about this moment, it also kind of took the officer back because it was very clear this was not a self-inflicted kind of situation. Just the logistics of everything immediately suggested there's no way he could have done this to himself. And once they started looking, they didn't see any sort of weapon anywhere. And so the officer allegedly said,
Now keep that in mind. No weapon anywhere. All right, but he's got a gunshot wound.
you know what, ma'am? No, that's not right. This is very obviously a homicide. Both Tippah County Sheriff's Department and Mississippi Bureau of Investigations, also known as MBI, began to arrive at the home after this. They were just trickling in, along with Kirby's mom and other family members and friends, and everyone was shocked and absolutely devastated. None of this made any sense. Who on earth would want to go after Kirby, this guy that made it a part of his life mission to do what he could for others? He didn't have an enemy. He didn't have a bad bone in his body. This wasn't adding up. None of this made any sense. Who that made it a to do what have an enemy? He didn't have a bad bone in his body. The scene was
recordings just got better. Hey, it's Dana from StreamYard. I'm so excited to announce that local recording
have an enemy. He didn't have a bad bone in his body. The scene was
Just saying, this isn't my new.
have
This
an
is
enemy.
the
He didn't have a
channel.
bad bone in his body. The scene was and told both his family and police the same thing as well in regards to finding his body. She claimed that she had strapped their baby in a carrier and headed out of the back door of the home, beelining it for the deer stand using the hill directly behind their home, which I have a video of that I'll be showing later on. And when she got to the deer stand and didn't
Hey,
find
kid,
him,
good
she turned
morning.
around and decided to
All right, baby. I love you too. Be careful wherever you're going. Are you going to your daughter's this weekend?
make her way back from the deer stand using the cleared out path that Kirby had made for the side-by-side. And that path spits you out on the far side of the house right by the carport. And so it wasn't until this moment where she's walking down this hill that she looks over and sees Kirby's body in the middle of updating Kirby's mom on the phone. And so obviously at that point, she called out to him, hung up the phone, and went to help him and call 911. But this didn't really, again, help to narrow when the crime occurred. So they started to check out Kirby's body and clothing for any potential evidence. And they ended up finding a Kroger receipt in his pocket dated to the evening of Wednesday, November 30th, the last day that his girlfriend claimed to have seen him. And so this obviously showed he had been out and about that day and had been fine up until at least Wednesday evening. But again, what happened after that? That did shave off a few hours on the timeline, but still wasn't really narrowing too much down. Kirby's keys to his truck also ended up being found in his back pocket. So he'd obviously gotten out of the car, tucked his keys in, and when they checked the truck, it was locked up tight. So it's as if he was trying to go inside. I don't know if he typically used the back door, which kind of seems to be the direction he maybe was walking, or if maybe someone like jumped up from behind his house. Regardless, when they looked inside of Kirby's truck, his cell phone was still very obviously sitting inside of the car, plugged into the charger. And those same groceries he had bought days earlier were still sitting untouched on the seat. So at this point, they were able to conclude it was very likely whatever happened to Kirby happened to him right after he arrived home that Wednesday night. So that entire 2 days and 2 nights where no one knew where he was and he never came home, he'd been lying in the yard of his home dead from a gunshot wound. By this point, Kirby's family and friends had decided to gather at his parents' house to grieve and be together and figure out what was going on and support each other. And they also took this as an opportunity to ask Kirby's girlfriend questions to try and piece things together, because all of this so far just seemed so unbelievable. His girlfriend just confirmed the same story that they already knew, but also added another detail stating that while she hadn't seen him since Wednesday morning, she had spoken to him. She claimed that she spoke to Kirby around 6:30 p.m. Wednesday evening. Even pulled out her phone. I guess she scrolled to double check when the text message was. So this did also help for the timeline, but she didn't mention exactly what they spoke about and if he seemed okay at this point. And they also decided to ask a question that had been burning in their minds because it could potentially help the timeline even further. When Kirby and his girlfriend had their daughter back in the summer of 2022, just months prior to his death, the girlfriend had invited her parents to come and stay with them from out of state. From what I'm saying, I believe this was her first baby. She obviously probably wanted the help of her parents. They had planned to originally stay there for about a week to help out where they could and let Kirby and his girlfriend get into a new routine with this new baby. But somehow that week ended up turning into 4 months. They just didn't leave. Kirby had hosted Thanksgiving a week prior to his death at this house, and the girlfriend's parents were still living there at that time. And Kirby's family also knew that they had still been living in the home the Monday before he disappeared because Kirby's girlfriend had texted everybody and been like, hey, whoever was at Thanksgiving, like my parents now have the flu. Is everyone else feeling okay? Now that Kirby has been shot in front of his own home and everyone had a moment to kind of sit down and think about what was happening, they were like, where are his girlfriend's parents? From what everyone knew, they had still been living at the house. They'd been there for months. And if they were there still, maybe they could have some sort of helpful information. So where on earth were they? And they asked the girlfriend, and according to her,
Okay, so you guys heard everybody was wondering where the parents were, right? And this was a few days. No, I think it was the day after. Either the day of or the day after. Now, listen to this.
according to her, her parents had left Tuesday night. So just 24 hours before it was believed Kirby was shot and killed. So this left the girlfriend as the only other adult living in the house at the time of Kirby's death. Authorities finally cleared the scene. Kirby's sister and his girlfriend came back to the house per the request of Ellie
Pay attention to this part very closely.
to gather a few things because at this point, they don't know if the house is safe to stay in. They don't know what kind of crime has occurred here, if this was a random crime of opportunity, or if maybe Kirby had been targeted or the house had been targeted. Maybe the girlfriend was targeted. They had no idea. And so they wanted Kirby's girlfriend to come and get whatever she needed to be able to go and stay somewhere safe. And when they arrived, MBI ended up directly going to Kirby's girlfriend and saying, hey, we need to speak with you alone. Now, I'm not entirely sure what was asked or spoken about during this, but whatever was said made his girlfriend feel incredibly nervous because after being questioned, Kirby's girlfriend and his sister went into the home to gather some things. And the moment they walked into the nursery, Kirby's sister said that the girlfriend just sunk onto the floor, looked up at her, and said something along the lines of, I didn't hurt your brother. Kirby's sister was so confused and shocked because this had not.
So the first thing she can say is, I did not hurt your brother. What would even give her the inclination that people thought it was her? That doesn't make any sense to me, does it to you? Hey, Maze, how are you doing, sweetheart?
Not even been a thought in anyone's mind. They had not spoken about this. They had not felt this way, or they likely wouldn't have invited her to stay at their home. But according to the girlfriend, whatever the MBI said to her made her feel that they believed she was involved. So clearly she was worried that maybe Kirby's family would feel the same. But Kirby's sister tried to reassure her and say, look, they're just following protocol. It is nothing at all abnormal for spouses, those to last see someone who was, murdered or just went missing, to be questioned. She's the mother of his child. There's just so many things that come into play when it comes to questioning people who might have information. But his girlfriend remained a nervous wreck. She was super worried and asked if she needed to get a lawyer. Now, Kirby's girlfriend did stay with Kirby's parents that night, so she did not have to stay in the house. But by the following day, she had decided to go back to Kirby's home, and her parents had actually returned to Boonville to support their daughter during the loss. And it kind of seems that from this point on, Kirby's family's relationship and communication with his girlfriend slowly declined. But the investigation itself was pushing forward. Kirby didn't exactly live in a very populated area, and the house itself had neighbors that were kind of few and far between. So the idea that it was a crime of opportunity just seemed a little less likely. It was more likely this was a targeted sort of attack. And Kirby also just wasn't the kind of man that had a lot of enemies, anyways. While he did dabble with a lot of money, tons of money changing hands, lots of different goods, a lot of business deals, he didn't really have any bad experiences that anyone could think of off the top of their head that would lead to this sort of outcome. I think he did have issues with one person ever, but that person had passed away at this point. So obviously they were not involved. So to kind of push this idea that this wasn't like a random robbery or anything like that, or that.
What are you guys thinking so far? What do you guys think of this so far? Y'all think it's kind of sus? But just wait. There's more. We're going to speed it up a little bit. How about that?
Or that this was someone that was trying to potentially come in and steal his silver or his gold. That Kirby was found, his mom had gone into the house and checked his safe room to see if things had been cleared out or if there were any signs that someone had tried to get into the safes. But when they were all opened, everything seemed to appear completely in order. Authorities decided to first go to the Kroger, pull any CCTV or anything that could potentially be helpful. And thankfully, and I feel like this never happens in any cases that we look into, Kroger still had the footage. And they were able to find that Kirby was wearing the same clothing while shopping at Kroger that he was wearing when his body was found. So this just added to the idea that Kirby had been killed just as he arrived home Wednesday night. They then decided to go to a nearby fire station that Kirby would have had to drive past and pulled CCTV from that as well. And they were able to confirm that Kirby's car had passed by that night. They were able to get a timeline on it. And he seemed to be going in the direction leading him to home. And between that, the conversation that he had with his girlfriend, the Kroger receipt, they ultimately decided that Kirby had likely arrived home sometime around 7 p.m. Wednesday, November 30th, and he was shot shortly after. Now, to just keep checking things off their list, they'd spoken to Kirby's girlfriend to figure out where she was that night, see if she had any sort of alibi, and they were able to find that she had a confirmed alibi for the time frame that they believe Kirby was shot. Now, if that time frame went one way or another, I don't know if that would change things, but from what their understanding was at the time, this girlfriend was not at the house. So they were now working from square one at figuring out who would have been at Kirby's home to be able to do this to him. Now, Kirby's body at this point had been sent off to Pearl, Mississippi to have an autopsy. They were incredibly backed up at the time, and so it was going to be a little bit before they received any sort of results from that. I have yet to see to this day what exactly was found. I've seen his sister state in one interview that there were no signs of an altercation on his body, so it's not like he got into some big physical fight with someone or struggled with someone, which to me makes it sound like whatever happened to Kirby was a total.
So there was no fight, no markings other than the gunshot. So he didn't get in a fight with nobody, right? So he was just shot. His feet were pointing towards the house, and his body was kind of twisted.
Total surprise, or this was someone he potentially knew and did not want to have to fight. But as authorities were doing everything that they could to investigate the crime, tension and strange incidents with Kirby's girlfriend and her parents began to worry Kirby's family. A good handful of really weird things happened. So Sunday, December 4th, a few days after Kirby was found, his mom and sister had decided, you know what?
Welcome in, Katie. You're from the AFC, aren't you? I believe I remember seeing your name in there. Welcome in. We're glad to have you here.
We need to start to put our focus into something that we can do at the moment. And that was ensuring that Kirby's children were taken care of, as well as arranging Kirby's memorial service. Kirby had always told his family that he had a last will and testament in his safe room and that it laid out everything for them. So if anything were to happen to him, no one would have to worry about what he wanted, where he had money, accounts, just all of the estate things that can be so incredibly overwhelming. They decided to head to Kirby's house to check his safe room, get this will and testament to start moving forward. Now, this room was just wall to wall safes. As you can imagine, having that much cash from real estate properties a hunter. He had one small pistol that he always kept on him. He carried it in his front pocket area. And so they all ended up going to Kirby's home the Tuesday after his death to create a list of these belongings to make sure everything was accounted for. And that silver that had been in the trunk of the girlfriend's dad's car was handed over to the attorney to be added to the estate. So again, this is a documented thing that happened. There were a few things around the home that were not accounted for, and they were some like pretty alarming things. One of them being Kirby's small pistol. Now, while I'm assuming he had many guns since he was a hunter, he had one small pistol that he always kept on him. He carried it in his front pocket. But when Kirby was found and they checked him out, he did not have his gun in his pocket. It was nowhere around him, and they ultimately weren't able to find it in his car, in his house. I mean, this gun was absolutely nowhere to be found. And according
So let's see, he got shot in the head and his gun is nowhere to be found. But he's an avid hunter. But there's only one gun not accounted for. Wonder where that could be.
According to his family, anyone that knew Kirby down to literally the gas station attendant would have known that Kirby carried this gun. And so the attorneys in the FBI came in and started asking the girlfriend, hey, where is this gun that everyone is telling us about? And she kind of got like frustrated and was like, Kirby didn't carry a gun. He didn't have that small pistol in his front pocket. He hasn't done that since me. So insinuating that Kirby had just totally stopped carrying a gun. And that sent alarm bells.
He all of a sudden didn't use guns because of the new girlfriend? And he's an avid hunter? And been a hunter his whole life? I don't know. Sounds kind of fishy to me. What do y'all think? Good morning, Nada. How are you doing, sweetie? Woo. A hunter with no shotguns. No, he had his shotguns. The shotguns were still in the house. The only gun that was missing, Ruby, was the pistol. All right, well, we're going to keep watching, Katie, just so we can fathom this out. Yeah, I agree with you, Act Right. She's doing okay, sweetheart. She's my daughter's with her this weekend. I don't go back till tomorrow unless they absolutely need me. I showed my daughter how to do everything. I was pretty convinced that she could do it, but I don't know now. So I'll be back over there Monday for a little while, and then I have to go to work. And then Tuesday morning, I'll be over there for a little while, and then I got to go back to work. And then Wednesday, I'll be with her all day because I have to take her back to the hospital for her follow-up. Good morning, DJ. No. He said that was the only one that wasn't there.
Bells ringing for so many reasons. Think about the nature of his job. He is constantly going and meeting people to purchase and sell gold and silver. I can assure you people that do that likely make sure they carry a gun on them. And there also were recent pictures of Kirby with the gun in his pocket. His sister had taken a photograph of him at her house, I think April, so a couple of months before, and you can clearly see he has the gun in his pocket. And his sister also said that she had poked fun of him about it just a month prior for carrying it at the pumpkin patch. He had not stopped carrying this gun, so why on earth was she trying to say that he had? A, she is not very observant and had just not noticed that he was carrying it, or she didn't want someone to go looking for it for some reason. Now, another massive thing that was missing from the home, which is wildly frustrating, was the sync box from Kirby's camera system. He was crazy about putting up cameras at his house, and those cameras easily could have captured whatever happened to him that night. But conveniently, the sync box that ensured that the cameras were all communicating and in working order, and I believe, if I'm remembering it correctly based off of my system, I don't know what system he had, but it like also is a lot of the times where all the data is stored, all of the recorded things, totally gone. And I'm unsure if this means someone went to the home after the fact and removed it to get rid of evidence, or if it's a possibility that this had been gone. Maybe it broke, maybe something happened before the fact. But unfortunately, at this point, when they really needed it, it was no longer there. Now, despite these strange things, thankfully, Kirby's family was able to figure things out from here, split things down the middle, make sure his children were taken care of. And it had also been agreed upon that the 4-month-old baby and his girlfriend would be getting child support checks monthly to make sure she was able to take care of Kirby's son. And finally, on December 17th, Kirby's family was able to hold his memorial. His little 4-year-old boy boy repeatedly went over to his casket to see his daddy one last time. Cannot imagine the level of pain and anger that everyone was feeling, losing a young, successful, great man who had nothing but positive things to contribute to society. Having to say goodbye to him and not knowing still who would do something like that. According to Kirby's family, Kirby's girlfriend and her dad did attend the memorial, but for some unknown reason, her mother, who was in town, chose to stay behind. And according to them, this is not the first time that she had done that. Maybe it was just something that made her uncomfortable. Maybe she wasn't as close, but for one reason or another, she repeatedly did not show up to these different events for Kirby. This was going to be the first Christmas without Kirby. And so far, police had not really been able to narrow anything down. And to add to the pain, just days after Kirby's funeral, right before Christmas, like literally within a day or so, his girlfriend and her parents abruptly left the state. Now, while Kirby's girlfriend did alert his mom, she said that she was only going away to spend a week with family in Pennsylvania just for over the holidays. But when Kirby's mom went to check his home hours after she had left, it was painfully clear that she had left with the baby and had no intentions of coming back. All of Kirby's girlfriend's personal clothing and belongings had been taken from all of her drawers. The whole house wasn't gutted, like there wasn't a ton of stuff stolen or anything, but she had packed up all of her things and got the heck out of there with the outfit that she wore to his funeral left behind. And the only other things that remained in her drawers where she kept all of her clothes were 2 handwritten wills. One for her, the girlfriend, and one for her dad. And both of these handwritten wills had been put together just days after Kirby's murder. And this does not sit well with a lot of people that have looked into this case. Some people theorize that this was done for nefarious reasons, like they were worried something they didn't come back to them, or they were worried for some reason they would be arrested, or they had some sort of something happening that made them feel.
If they didn't do anything, why would they be worried? I don't know. This is, when I first started looking into this case, it just really didn't sit with me well. It's kind of like it didn't sit with me like the Sean Doherty case. That didn't sit with me very well either. And we are going to keep looking into that one and see if we can't do some kind of push to get like maybe the FBI or the VBI to get involved instead of just Yorktown State Police. All right, so let's go back to this.
Feel they had to write wills up all of a sudden. Will say that also tragic deaths like that can push a lot of people to look into their own end-of-life planning. But why would they leave those behind? If that's something they were worried about and so driven to do, and because of what had happened, I just don't understand why they would leave just those 2 things in the dresser. Like, it's like they wanted them to be found. If you're clearing out all your drawers and like packing all your stuff up, and then like you don't just look in the drawer and see it's not empty and there's wills in there and just keep on pushing unless you want someone to find it. Over the course of the next few months, as the investigation slowly trucked along, Kirby's family did manage to just barely keep in contact with his girlfriend, solely to speak about Kirby's daughter. Check in on her, try to be in her life, get updates. I mean, she's going through her first year of life, all these things that Kirby is missing, that now his family is missing. And we're talking about such a tight-knit family. I can't even imagine what that must have felt like, not being able to see when she started to crawl, or when she ate her first solid food, or when she, started to walk, and all of these different things. But unfortunately, after a couple of months, all of that communication completely stopped. Kirby's family at this point had no answer as to who ended their loved ones' lives, and had also lost his daughter as well, with absolutely no idea where she was living or how to reach her. I can only imagine that his whole family felt like they were living and are still living in this gigantic limbo. Now, the only things that have really been stated at this point in regards to Kirby's case is that they likely have persons of interest, but there's no suspect to my understanding. And a person of interest could just be someone they want to speak to, which in my opinion is very likely the parents of the girlfriend. We're also able to kind of slightly figure out information about the weapon used to kill Kirby, but unfortunately, it did not give them as many answers as they had hoped, because whatever gun was used is untraceable. They do know that it was either a shotgun or something that shoots with a shotgun shell. And unfortunately, that type of ammunition just does not leave the same identifying marks like a handgun.
Okay, so we know it's not the missing pistol now, right? And all his shotguns were accounted for.
Would. And so even having that only narrows it down to a handful of different kinds of guns. His family started to take numerous videos of his property and, tried to walk things through, figure out and theorize as to what may have happened. And they ended up finding another thing that was totally missing that was suspicious. Kirby allegedly had numerous trail cameras all over his property. As a hunter and just, again, as someone who has a lot of valuables at his home and on his property, it was kind of important to have them. And multiple people, including his neighbor, were able to confirm that. And so his family was like, okay, maybe we can go and find these trail cameras on these 100 acres and they could hold some sort of information. But when they went to look for them, there were none. They couldn't find a single trail camera. They only found one strap indicating there had been one at a certain location at some point that was now gone. And so that's just another thing, a potential piece of evidence that has mysteriously vanished from Kirby's property. He spoke closely with law enforcement to try and theorize and find ways to move forward. I know that his family wanted to drain the lake on his property because we've got, at this point, his missing gun and then the gun that was used to shoot him. They're not the same, just FYI. But unfortunately, the resources just aren't there at the moment. I don't think there's enough solid information and evidence to suggest that's where any of those things went. So it's just so far not happening unless they can figure something out. They know every single car that went up and down the road by Kirby's home the night that they believe he was killed. And I am hoping that at this point, they've obviously traced those cars back to owners, really spoken to them. And more recent events have actually pushed Kirby's family to have a social media presence, something that honestly I want to talk about real quick. No family ever wants to have to do. It is not lost on me or other true crime creators that this is not fun. This is a last resort for families desperately trying to find answers for their loved ones, a place for families to go, whether they want to or not, but feel they have to in order to push their loved ones' cases forward. It is not fun putting yourself out there. It is not fun being vulnerable. It is not fun airing dirty laundry. It is not fun having to recant and rehear some of the worst moments of your life over and over and over again. And it's put out on display as a spectacle for some people who are watching it for the wrong reasons, but they felt that this was something that they need to do. And they are hand in hand with so many other families that have felt the exact same way. And whether they want to or not, they have to put on a brave face and step out to the world of social media because of the good that can come from it. And so they have started a Facebook page, as I stated, and I really, really encourage you guys to go and support them, be a positive voice to drown out any negative voices that might be out there. It seems that at this point, they are heavily questioning Kirby's girlfriend's story. And so far, it's not that authorities are not working on the case. I don't want to say that, but there's just not a lot of movement. And so I think they want that attention there. I think they want that pressure there. And also something great that can come from, this type of thing is resources. There are so many people out there willing to help that work with search and rescue teams, nonprofit organizations, their PIs doing things pro bono. And this is a great way to kind of, put themselves out there and connect to people like that. Now, as I had stated, more questionable things have occurred since Kirby's death, and the behavior afterwards just increasingly gets more suspicious. Now, Kirby's sister, again, as I've already stated so many times in this video, has said that they had never even considered the fact that his girlfriend was involved. They pushed through so many things at the beginning of this investigation, but looking back on everything now, his family has so many questions, and there are so many things that are starting to stick out that are making this strange. How on earth did Kirby's girlfriend come in and out of their home for 2 days and not notice his body laying there? And why did it take 2 days just to begin with to question where he was? If you dissect it and really think about it, this was the girlfriend's first child, from my understanding. And since that baby was born, she had the constant support of Kirby, the constant support of both of her parents to help her. And her parents, who had been at this home for 4 months at this point, got the flu. And for some reason decided, and this could be coincidental, that it was the perfect time while having the flu. They suddenly decided to pack up and drive states away back home. The timing of it is just super weird and a really inconvenient timing. And you would think if they didn't have to go back, they wouldn't choose right before Christmas, a day after getting the flu, to do it. So she was home by herself. Her parents weren't there to help her, and Kirby wasn't showing back up at home. And so I just don't understand how she wasn't in a total panic when that happened. Just from the fact that, her boyfriend didn't come home that night. But if you think of all of the circumstances piled together, maybe I'm just an incredibly needy person. But if that were me, I would be freaking out. Not only was she suddenly very alone in the house with an infant with no help and was completely unable to reach her boyfriend, reach Kirby, but the baby also had the flu. So kind of like the first time dealing with a sick child as well. And so it just seems like a lot to be going on. And maybe that was all happening. And that alone is what distracted her from the fact that Kirby was outside laying in front of the house. Maybe she was so wrapped up in trying to figure out how to be a first-time mom with a new baby that she kind of lost touch with what was happening with Kirby. But I feel like at the bare minimum, you would think she would call someone for help, call her parents back, call Kirby's family or something, call them sooner than that to be like, hey, I can't find him. What on earth is going on? And this leads to other obvious questions of, okay, if at the bare minimum, she didn't actively reach out to anyone to try to figure out if someone could help her and where Kirby was, did she never look around the house? Like, did she never look into his truck where she would have obviously seen that not only is he missing, but his phone is sitting there plugged in, plain as day in the car? Like, clearly he didn't just go off with a friend somewhere. She parked beside him in the driveway. And so did she not, out of curiosity, just so happen to peer in? Like, did she not do a quick round around the outside of the house or go out of the back door? Or, maybe walk to the other side of the carport to call out? And on top of that, according to Kirby's sister, the girlfriend had spoken to multiple members of Kirby's family in those days that he was missing and had failed to say anything. So that Thursday morning, after he had not been seen all day Wednesday or Wednesday night, she had taken her daughter to a doctor's appointment. And she had messaged Kirby's mom and sister about the flu diagnosis that her daughter had. And then she got like this little height and weight sticker. And I guess during this conversation, she randomly mentioned, hey, has anyone spoken to Kirby? But she never made it seem like it was like an emergency or that she hadn't seen him all day. He hadn't come home the night before. She just said this one thing and then completely dropped it. And then she even stopped by his mom's house that night, spoke to his mom and sister face to face, and never mentioned anything about him still not reaching out to her and still not being home. And so at this point, they really started to analyze the girlfriend's story, and they kind of dissected what she claimed happened and took video videos to show their personal thoughts about it and compiled all of them on their Facebook page to explain why they believe there's something strange going on here. So I'm going to show you all the videos that they have taken, not only so you can see what their personal experiences are with this area and their personal knowledge is, but also so you can kind of get a better idea of the layout of everything and why they find it so strange she somehow didn't see Kirby, and how it seems like the story that is being told is almost being told to specifically ensure it seemed like she had no way.
This is Casey. I'm Kirby's sister, and I am going to video the path that the person living in the home with Kirby at the time he was killed says that she took on Friday morning when she was going to look for him. Currently, I'm standing in Kirby's living room. The person told us that that morning, as she was going to go out to look for him to see if he was in his deer stand, that she walked straight out this back door, straight up the hill, all the way up the hill, and then to the deer stand. So I'm just going to show you the terrain that she would have had to cross to do that. She claimed that she had her 13-pound baby attached to her, wearing her at the time. It is a little muddy today, so excuse me while I walk through. Okay. She said she walked straight out the door, which is there. Sorry, that's my friend. Straight up the hill. The reason that is relevant is because Kirby's body was laying next to those toolboxes that are about in this area. So if she had looked right, she would have seen his body. But she says that she did not, that she walked directly up this hill that I'm about to attempt to do. And I actually don't know if I can. Okay, as you can see, my attempt up the hill failed. I'm standing on the back porch looking at the hill directly in front of me. You can see where I slid down the hill. I am not able to go up that hill. I have attempted several times since his death and have not been able on my own. And I am of much smaller stature and not carrying a baby. Also, just so you're aware or can see, this is what you're looking at when you walk out the back porch. So this hill, very steep. Also, behind the air conditioner unit there, Kirby's side-by-side was parked. So typically, if Kirby went into the woods to the deer stand to hunt, he would have gone on his side-by-side. He would not have walked that distance, nor would she have, in my opinion. But you can see that there is, on down here, kind of a less steep trail that Kirby had made to go up and then over to the deer stand, which is way down there. But of course, had she walked this direction to go up that hill in attempts to look for him in the deer stand, which is what she said she was doing, then she would have been walking directly to where his body laid, which was right here. Okay, I'm currently standing where Kirby's body was found, looking back toward the home. Just wanted to show you a full circle of this hill. This is where Kirby laid. And to get you an idea of something else that's very relevant, I'm going to attempt to walk up the hill in a less steep area, and we may not be able to do it. But it actually may be better if you all just come and do it for yourselves. But when you go up this hill where she says that she walked, Mom and my friend Andrea and I attempted that a couple weeks ago, and we did go up where it's less steep. We weeded our way through the woods. I got a couple ticks on me. There's actually about halfway up that hill a ditch that is between waist and chest high. That's very large, that I don't think she even is aware of that is there. There's no way she could have crossed that ditch on her own, but much less with a baby. And I will at some point get up that hill and show you all the ditch if that's necessary. But like I said, this is the side-by-side trail that Kirby always used if he was going up to his deer stand or down to his lake onto his property. This is a very, very steep hill. And again, there's no way that she walked up it. Okay, in attempts to show you a little more, this is where Kirby's body was laying. This is the back door that she says she went out up the hill. We're going to walk up a less steep portion of the hill to try to show you a little bit of the terrain and to get to the ditch that we know that she's probably not aware of being there and that we know she was unable to cross. But here is the kind of terrain that we're looking at. And this is the less harsh portion of the terrain. You can see that we're now up behind the house. I'm losing my socks. This is the kind of stuff that we're looking at. I'm not even sure how we got to that the other day. Okay. There's lots of briars. What's that, Andrea? Again, you can see very rugged terrain that she would have had to cross while wearing a baby. Oh, watch that one too. Not a clear path at all from the way that she was stating that she came. As you can see, I'm now directly behind the house. The door, the pathway that she said she took up here would be right there up that rugged hill. And we are still continuing on. Overlook my heavy breathing. I'm not used to this. I think this is actually directly behind the back door. So you're looking at extremely steep.
Shopify's point of sale system helps you sell at every stage of your business. With fast and secure payment.
Part of what she would have had to walk up. And this is now the ditch that she came straight up to get to the deer stand, which is still on up that hill through those trees, that rugged terrain. She would have had to cross this ditch. And it's hard to tell from a camera viewpoint. But Andrea, if you'll hold my phone, I'll stand in that ditch so we can just show exactly how deep this.
DJ, with the point, my point being is if they were hunting, if they were shooting, if anybody else shot him, then that means they were way too close, and that means they were on his land. He owned all this land around his house and behind. She'll show you how far it goes back. But his deer stand wasn't close to the house. Like, you had to go up this steep hill. And the reason why she's trying to say this is because his girlfriend that just had a baby a few months before he died said she had the baby in one of those carriers that you put on your body, walking up this hill. But here's the trick about this hill. I'm going to let y'all listen to it.
This ditch here is. I don't know how I'll get out, but we'll figure it out. Ooh, lots of birds.
That's his sister.
No. I actually don't know if I'm willing to do this. You got me still?
I got you.
Whew. Ow. Sorry.
Now, this is on the other side of the hill that she supposedly climbed up.
So I'm not even at the bottom of the ditch yet. I have briars in my leg right now. Okay. So the path that she would have taken, or claims to have taken, would have led her. She would have had to come across this ditch, which you see is over waist high. And to get up on the other side, actually, this side of the ditch is to here on me. It's above my waist. Keep in mind, she was carrying a 13-pound baby, supposedly. Not sure how she got over this, unless she really. Oh. I'm now on the other side of the ditch, and there's still lots of rugged terrain, and another hill up there that she would have had to.
Yeah, the baby had the flu. Yeah.
Actually, at some point, this was side by side, and ride to actually where the deer stand is, because it's a very, very long walk.
Supposedly
So
she was
take
on
that
the
for
phone
what
with
you
the
will.
mom.
But when I looked into this a little bit deeper, I found something that, in my opinion, is probably one of the more alarming things posted to the Facebook page. And it was just posted by a commenter who managed to find a photo of Kirby's girlfriend holding a gun. And this is nothing strange. We're talking about Mississippi here. Nothing odd for people to have guns. I'm not personally familiar with a gun, but it's the kind of gun that she's holding that is what sent my alarm bells absolutely screaming. Now, I showed my husband this gun and said, hey, what kind of gun is this? And he said, that's a Taurus Judge revolver, which, by the way, is like an incredibly big gun. And I asked him what it shoots, and he said it shoots a 410 shell. And for those of you that don't know, a 410 shell is a small caliber shotgun shell. And I don't know if that's her personal gun. I don't know if it's a friend's gun. She is with someone else in the photo. I don't know if she had access to that gun all the time. But I mean, if that's not kind of like a blaring red flag for authorities to go and ask more questions, I don't know what is. Let's just add something else suspicious to the ever-growing list. And while the girlfriend does in fact have an alibi that is confirmed by authorities, something else Kirby's family finds strange, and they didn't find this out until they got Kirby's phone returned to them. But the last conversation that Kirby and his girlfriend had at like 6:30 p.m. that Wednesday night was her suddenly asking him about his location. Maybe she just wanted to know where he was, like when he'd be home, details like that. I don't know. I haven't personally seen the text messages, but you can kind of piece two and two together with that one. And to add to it, the groceries.
Yeah,
that
I
were
think
found
I
in Kirby's
told
car
you about this case,
appeared
Mama
to
Bear.
kind of be potentially things for dinner. There were 4 steaks, and people have like gone absolutely crazy over this on social media because they're like, 4 steaks. I thought the parents had left. That's just enough steaks like for the 2 couples. And we don't know for sure. It could have been just to put into the freezer to have on hand, but some people believe it's because the girlfriend's parents hadn't actually left, or there was someone else that was supposed to come to the house that night to have dinner and something happened. So again, take all of that as you will. Now, according to Kirby's sister, the girlfriend's parents have never been questioned, as I've already stated. And I have no idea if authorities have even looked into their whereabouts. Honestly, just from the perspective of these people lived with him for 4 months, literally were there 24 hours prior to his death, they could have helpful information. It's not even from like a standpoint of thinking they are involved or this, that, and the other, just as average protocol and what you would expect from an investigation, you would think they would be spoken to. They could know something. So I'm not sure if they haven't been questioned because authorities haven't gone to question them, or if they refuse to be questioned. But regardless, I hope that eventually that ends up happening. Now, I do know that the girlfriend went and got her attorney and refused a polygraph, which no good lawyer is going to suggest you take a polygraph, but she also outright refused questioning from that point on as well, which I don't understand why that would happen. This is literally the father of your child. You have the best criminal defense attorney out there, so why do you not feel comfortable sitting down and helping police figure out what happened to him? Ultimately, no one has been labeled a suspect by authorities. They're still working on the case, and unfortunately, Kirby's family still has absolutely no idea where his daughter is. All they know is they send child support checks monthly to this out-of-state address that they assume is where they're living, until just a few months ago when they tried to wish Kirby's little daughter a happy first birthday. Not a text to the girlfriend, tried to make some sort of contact. I read the text, I posted it here. It is nothing malicious or angry or anything, but there was no response. And so over the next week after the daughter's birthday, they continued to try to reach out, make sure the little girl was okay, that, she had everything that she needed. And when there was still no contact, they decided to call law enforcement in the area for a welfare check, because you guys, they're sending large checks monthly, something that they want to do to make sure she's taken care of. And so when you don't know if the checks you're sending are actually going to her, if she's even okay, that's obviously an alarming thing. And so authorities did go out to this house, and you guys, to their utter shock, when authorities arrived at the address, the house was burned to the ground, totally gone, with only the mailbox still standing. And I don't know when exactly this happened. I've been trying to look it up and find out, but I've not been able to see. But what I do know is that it's been like that for at least a little while. And the checks as of the last few months have all been cashed. So someone is going out to this address every month to collect child support from this lone mailbox standing up amidst all of the completely burned down home. Now, there's a lot of speculation out there about this in particular, the house burning down, and the way the girlfriend's dad had tried to claim Kirby's house as theirs that one time. And a lot of people speculate that they're simply just trying to take advantage of a tragic situation and turn it into a money grab, because unfortunately, the girlfriend's dad is a felon where theft was involved. So he's got a criminal record. So this is not absurd to question. He was obviously caught on top of that with Kirby Silver in his car. But basically, it's been speculated that they hoped that everything of Kirby's would be left to the girlfriend and they'd just be able to live off of it. And when that didn't happen, they wanted to find another way to get money. So I'm just personally hoping that maybe this will prompt some sort of action from CPS or authorities just to ensure that Kirby's daughter is okay. Obviously, she's in the legal custody of her mother, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But there are definitely rules surrounding child support for those collecting it. So I can almost guarantee you that those avenues are being explored, and hopefully that will lead to more questioning and some sort of answers. So as I've kind of briefly gone over, I personally don't think it's as likely this was a crime of
oh crap. I really didn't do that on purpose. I don't know. It depends on if there's a grandparents' law in Mississippi or Virginia, because that's supposedly where she went up until recently. Yeah. I don't know where the grandparents' law stands. Because I know here in North Carolina, they don't have it. Hold on, let me put do not disturb.
For $17 a month, my plan includes counseling, and it completely changed my life.
Obviously, she's in the legal custody of her mother, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But there are definitely rules surrounding child support for those collecting it. So I can almost guarantee you that those avenues are being explored, and hopefully that will lead to more questioning and some sort of answers. So as I've kind of briefly gone over, I personally don't think it's as likely this was a crime of opportunity. Nothing just really seems to add up to that. And while his family has stated that he doesn't really have any enemies, I feel like when you're in that line of work, sometimes people just have a problem with you simply because you are successful. And so I feel like if someone was quietly jealous, or maybe had a small incident with Kirby that he felt like wasn't a huge deal, maybe they thought it was major, and maybe it led him to being a target. Honestly, I don't know, but what I do know is that there are very strange details surrounding Kirby's relationship that I hope they are one day able to kind of question further. Again, Kirby's family has started a Facebook group, Justice for Kirby. I highly encourage you guys to go and give it a follow, show them support, hear what they have to say. They're kind of slowly
I've
going
dropped
through
the link
all
twice
of the information that they
in
have,
chat
pointing out small things that seem to stick out to them.
for the
They're
Facebook group.
incredibly open to thoughts and opinions. So if you are someone who has thoughts on this case, or you have maybe some way to help a family, some sort of resource you think would be valuable to them, give them a follow. I have a link to their Facebook page down below, and obviously be as respectful as possible. He was just a good guy, living his life to the fullest, surrounded by family. He, just like every other victim out there, did not deserve whatever happened to him. And someone is out there fully knowing what they did to him, how they affected his family, how they've gone on to fully change the lives of his two young children that now have to grow up without him. I hope someone either grows a conscience, or there's some sort of information that eventually comes out, because whoever did this needs to be brought to justice so that Kirby's family can try to move forward and not just constantly be surrounded by all of these unanswered questions. My heart goes out to Kirby's family and his children. As of right now, there isn't really a strong call to action. They don't have.
Is that for the grandparents' law?
I don't know if that's something that will happen in the future. I'm keeping an eye on their Facebook page just in case. So right now, really just helping them with the whole reason they started social media to begin with. Push his story out there. It can be this video. It can be the Facebook page. You look him up on TikTok. There's tons of videos out there. Just make sure people know about him. Make sure people know what happened. Make sure people are pushing so that everyone knows in the county of Tippah, Mississippi, that no one's going to forget Kirby. No one's going to let this just settle and be swept under the rug. People are still thinking about it. People want to see his family and Kirby get justice. Thank you guys.
I don't know why it keeps doing that, but it's over anyway. Let me see if this is a video. I know how to do that. Okay. Doop 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 doop. Here we go. No. God bless, man. I had it earlier and I took it off because I wanted you guys to hear the backstory. I think this is it. Gotta let it load for a minute. Yes, this is her parents, her mother and her father. And they have been arrested.
Bienvenidos a Secretos de Villanas 2. La villana original.
We're learning some new details in a Mississippi murder suspect's arrest in Smith County. New at noon, we've learned the couple's daughter has also been arrested as a part of that case. According to the Smith County Sheriff's Office, Jeffrey Spence and Karen Spence had active capital murder warrants from Mississippi for the 2022 murder of Kirby Carpenter. Sheriff Chip Chuler telling us that the two had only been in our area for a few months and most recently had been living in the Sugar Grove area. According to our NBC partner station, WTVA in Mississippi, the couple's daughter, Caitlin Spence, was arrested Thursday in Pennsylvania. Investigators say she had been living with the victim at the time of the murder, who was a well-known business owner there in the rural Mississippi County just across the Tennessee line. According to investigators, the trio had long been considered suspects, and a new piece of evidence brought a break in the case that led to the three arrests.
Johnson City also kicked off its holiday celebration Saturday with its annual Christmas parade as well. People from all across the Tri-City stopped by to watch the parade.
Well, it's always fun when you kick yourself out of your own life. Just saying. And hush, DJ, don't even start with me. Do-do-do-do-do. I'm going to show you a picture of the girlfriend's mugshot. Just look at this damn girl. This is her mugshot. This is what she looked like when the police arrested her and took her picture. Tell me that's not enough to want to smack the living shit out of her. Somebody needs to smack that little smile off her face because she ain't going to be smiling after she goes to trial. And that I can't wait for. I cannot wait for this trial so I can see if I can stream it. I don't know if Mississippi will allow us to do it, but we will see. She was arrested in Pennsylvania and her parents were arrested in Virginia. And the U.S. Marshals had to arrest all three of them. Kind of weird. She looks like she could be a few different people, Mama Bear. She looks like somebody I know, too. And there's the father. And he has a criminal background. So, you know, when I first heard of this story, which was when Danielle put it out, because I'm subscribed to her. I love her podcast. I love her stories. She's kind of like Christina Randall. But yeah, it made me think and made me want to cover it. So yeah, I do. If you go back in my playlist, you'll see I have a playlist for him. Yes, I know, Ruby. I'm so excited about that. But I have a friend, another creator friend, that she's going to stream it. And I'm just going to go in her chat with her. So I don't have to try to figure out. I know where to go, but because of my internet, the way I don't usually get to share screen very much. For some reason, this is the only laptop I've had in the last year that hasn't given me no issues yet. So I figured I'll just share out her stream when she goes live. Right, DJ? Right? I agree with you there. Oh, damn it. Wrong one. Sorry, Mama Bear. Exactly, Katie. Exactly. Like, you were worried about getting caught when it all went down to begin with. And now you're happy that you got caught. Maybe because it's a relief and she can actually maybe sleep at night in her eyes because, you know, she's been caught and her parents have been caught and they don't have to worry about it. But what I want to know is where that baby is. Where is that baby? Is that baby with his family? Or did she leave that baby with somebody else? That's my concern right now, is where is that baby? Well, a lot of times what I do, Ruby, is I'll take because my phone, when I do my lives on my phone, sweetheart, you can't share screen. So a lot of times what I will do is, if my computer's giving me issues, I'll do my live from my laptop and then have my phone and just do audio so you can hear it. So you're still hearing it, but you're not seeing it. So, I mean, and you can always throw the link out there if they really want to watch it while listening to it, they can go there. But that's one thing about doing using somebody else's content. You have to make sure you are doing the fair use. Give them that credit where credit is due. They put the story out. You give them their credit. You drop their link. I don't know. The family really, really wanted that baby. So they might have got the baby. The only reason why, Katie, I can think that she did it was for his money. For his money, because he was a self-made millionaire. Like, he dabbled in the silver and gold coin industry. He had several rental properties and 2 bars. Like, he had money. He was really well off. I don't know if they were bars or restaurants, but he owned 2 of them. Exactly, babies for benefits. You are right. You are absolutely right. Well, I do it because there's nothing. I can't even find the backstory on this anymore. All you can find now is about the parents being arrested. So, I mean, I've used a couple people's content, but as long as you throw out their link and you're not doing anything to harm their channel, there shouldn't be an issue with it. Yes, ma'am, she is OG. So you've been with them for about a year less than I have. I've been watching them for about 5 years now. I don't know how I became a mod in there, but hey, I'm not going to complain. He is awesome, OG. He is very awesome. I love him. Oh, well, that's good, Katie. Like, he does throw out some good advice. I honestly can say that. He's a little rough around the edges, but hey, he does his thing and he gets his point across. That's the main thing. Well, he has 2 kids. He has 2. He has a little boy and the little girl with the girlfriend that just got arrested. Gotcha. Yeah, but until she's 18, everything would be in the mom's name. Or 21. Usually it's 21 for females and 18 for boys. Or, I mean, depending on what age he set it for, too. You're correct, Katie. There's a lot of abusers out there you would never even, just by looking at them, you wouldn't even know. Because they put on that fake facade for everybody else, and then when the doors are closed, that's when you have to worry. Just want to say welcome into everyone that's in the back bushes. You're more than welcome to come in and chat. We don't bite, I promise. Doo-doo-doo-doo. I have another story that I want to talk about. It happened a long time ago, but I'm trying to keep up with the two involved. And I don't want to miss anything, especially an execution. I can agree with you there, Katie. I can agree with you there. Mama's having a little bit of dyslexia today. It's okay. We know it's early your time. Actually, it's 9 o'clock your time. Almost 9 o'clock your time. I'm sitting here trying to talk to y'all, and my damn thing was muted. All right, what's up, Circle Box? Welcome in, sweetie. You might not want to be in here for this one because this is about a little kid. The one I just did was about an adult. But I love that you came in and thought about me today. Oh, that was me giving Eva some treats. Well, good. That means you needed it, silly. No, I'm not always covering kids. Like I said, the story I just covered was an adult. So now, this one is really, really, really close to me. Like, because it's in my area. It happened in my area, and I was a searcher for it. So you do whenever you decide to. But yeah, so this one is really, 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 really near and dear to me. And this is, like I said, it's an older case, and I just want to keep up with it. But I also want to keep it in the light because there's another story that is almost identical to this that's ongoing still with the two that are held accountable are still sitting in jail. They have not went to trial yet. I know, I'm getting there. One day. All right, so let's get into this one. I'm not eating chocolate. I can't have chocolate. For one. For two, it wasn't me eating. It was the dog. I'm drinking coffee, so therefore I'm not eating. I cannot drink coffee and eat food. I'm weird like that. Unless it's like a piece of pie or something. No, she's right here. Do you want me to turn the camera on so you can see Eva? And her with her damn treats? Oh, shut up, Circle Box. I'm not eating nothing, I promise you. I wish I was eating something, but I'm not eating nothing. I don't know if this is going to work. Oh, it does work. Look at that. Oh, shit. My mom's laptop thingy works from my phone charger. There we go. She swallowed it. Circle Box, shut up. Let me see if I can find a video instead of me reading, because it's going to take forever for me to read. I'm trying to find the news. Almost 4 years ago. Hello, what about something more recent? Oh, you're fine, honey. I'm not trying to go into one that's like... I'm trying to find the news. She went missing November 9th, not the 10th. Oh yeah, they even did her funeral online. It's still up. You're gonna have to wait till I'm done. Alright, here we go. Bye, hon. Thank you for coming in.
Comes out to the right point. Burns a shot. He scores! For the hat trick. Unmontable Jarvis scores!
Breaking news in the Shania Davis murder case. The prime suspect, Mario McNeil, is being transferred to Central Prison in Raleigh right now. He's charged with raping and killing the 5-year-old. This afternoon, McNeil went to court to face the more severe charges. He's accused of killing Davis the same day she was reported missing from her home last week. WRL's Brian Mims was in the courtroom today. Brian.
Pam, Mario McNeil will be held in a safekeeping cell at Central Prison in Raleigh. He spent a week here in the Cumberland County Jail. He turned himself in last Friday, accused of kidnapping Shania Davis. Then last night, new warrants were served. And again, with his orange jumpsuit and handcuffs, he stood before a judge.
1 week to the very hour after he first set foot in this courtroom, 29-year-old Mario McNeil was back. This time, it wasn't just for a kidnapping charge. He's now an accused killer.
That's punishable by the death penalty or life imprisonment without parole. You understand that?
He nodded, said nothing. The judge read the second charge, first-degree rape of a child. He nodded, said nothing. In 3 minutes, it was over. His mom was there. She left the jail swarmed by reporters.
An opportunity to speak up for your son.
She, too, said nothing and drove off. Court records show that McNeil admitted to taking Shania Davis from her mom's home and driving her to a hotel in Sanford, November 10th. Arrest warrants say he raped her and killed her that same day. Her body was dumped near a country road in Lee County. Preliminary.
I was there the day they found her, and this is where I live in Lee County. This area is probably about 15 minutes from where I live right now. But when she was dumped here, I didn't live far from it.
Autopsy results say she suffocated. Shania's mother, Antoinette Davis, is charged with offering her child for prostitution. She's the one who reported Shania missing last week. Davis's mother was also at the jail during McNeil's hearing. She said she didn't know how McNeil knew anybody in her family.
To me, he ain't nothing but a maggot.
Ann Summers said her daughter would never offer Shania for prostitution. A Cumberland County Sheriff's Office spokeswoman says Davis has been arrested in the past for prostituting herself, though there's no record of a conviction. Summers also denied her daughter was dealing in drugs.
She had her stuff together. She had her own house. She kept it clean, and she took care of her child. She went to work and came home and everything. She did what she had a mother supposed to do for her kids.
We have received word that McNeil has just arrived at Central Prison in Raleigh.
Which is fucked up because her mother is saying all these lies. She didn't have her own place. She lived with her sister and her sister's boyfriend. And she only had Shania for maybe a month, because from 6 months old till I want to say it was either September or October when she went to go live with her mother for good, for a trial basis anyway, because her dad didn't work in town. Her dad had custody of her and he worked out of town. But when he was out of town, his sister kept Shania. Oh, he smirked and chuckled throughout the whole trial. That man had me hot as hell.
Raleigh. He has a criminal record dating back to 2001 when he was charged with shooting 3 people. He also has a long list of drug offenses. Police have not said whether any additional charges will be filed against Antoinette Davis, the mother, or anybody else for that matter. Pat.
Brian Mims with the latest on the Shania Davis case live in Fayetteville. Brian, thank you. The family has announced funeral plans. The service is Sunday afternoon at 3 at the Manna Church. That's in Fayetteville, and it is open to the public.
Crazy.
We begin with breaking.
Yeah. All right, so we're there. Okay.
Breaking news in the search for a missing 5-year-old girl, and the end result is heartbreaking. This afternoon, police found a child's body, and all indications are this is Shania Davis. Hello, and thanks for joining us. The little girl disappeared just about a week ago.
Early yesterday, rescuers started looking in a wooded area in Lee County. Today, sources told WRAL they found the little girl. Her body was in a wooded area off Walker Road near Highway 87. 2 people are charged in her disappearance, including her mother, who's accused of giving her daughter up for prostitution. The mother was in court this afternoon. Investigators are still in the area where the body was found. They expect the SBI to arrive any time to help remove the remains. The little girl disappeared on last week. These remains were hidden in a ditch just off the side of the road. Tonight we have team coverage beginning with our Sloan Heffernan in Fayetteville, where Davis lived. Sloan?
We're here at the police department, and officials just wrapped up a press conference a short time ago. They say they are still waiting to positively identify the body that was found today, but
That's the case I was talking about, Ruby. Kamari Holland's case is a mirror to this case. The only difference in the Kamari Holland case was that Shania was found a week and a half or 2 weeks after she went missing. Kamari Holland was found the very next day, within like 12 hours, I think. Kamari Holland had the same amount of monsters, same living situation. The only difference was Kamari Holland's mom was not supposed to have her overnight. She had to be supervised with that baby. And Shania Davis's mom was given rights to her to try to be a mom and take care of her. But they never said what the reason was behind Kamari's mom doing what she did. Although Shania Davis's mom did what she did for a $200 drug debt. Excuse me. So yeah. Then this came about. See if it's on this one or not. Yeah, and she gave all her baby's toys away within the first week. Yep. I heard about it in the mix of going over the Summer Wells case and the Megan Boswell or Evelyn Boswell case and a lot of them.
Thanks for joining us. I'm David Crabtree.
And I'm Deborah Morgan. From the day 5-year-old Shania Davis disappeared, it seemed people everywhere had an opinion about this case. Today, though, the girl's family and the judge himself spoke their piece. WRL's Brian Mims was in the courtroom and joins us now live with a reaction to the quick sentence. Brian?
It was rather quick, no more than 40 minutes maximum. The three prosecutors made their closing arguments saying Mario McNeil had no regard for Shania's life, no regard for innocence, and absolutely no remorse. The defense made no arguments. That's just the way Mario McNeil wanted it. Nobody speaking on his behalf, nobody pleading for his life. At 1 p.m. this afternoon, the jury spoke.
He'd be sentenced to death.
Nothing. He stood and stared, a nothing expression on his face as he heard those words. In the courtroom, a few stifled cries, barely audible. Judge Jim Ammons then asked Mario McNeil,
"Is there anything you'd like to say?"
He could have said anything. To Shania's family, to his own family. He said nothing. But the dad of 5-year-old Shania Davis did say something. How he thinks of his little girl, McNeil's hand over her mouth, robbing her of the air she needed to live.
I think about those last seconds. And you was the last thing my daughter got to look at.
He said McNeil's demeanor made a mockery of the court.
Media's glorified you as you walk in the courtroom with your little antics and your smirks and your smiles, waving your hands around like you're free at last. Well, you ain't free.
And then Bradley Lockhart said he would pray for his daughter's killer. Judge Ammons once again addressed Mario McNeil that he be put to death as provided by law.
May God have mercy on your soul.
The judge had nothing more to say to him but these 14 words.
You did not have to kill that child. Take him out of here now.
The deputies handcuffed him. McNeil's mother, here through it all, showed no emotion. She and other family members declined to speak with us. Judge Ammons said he was sorry for both families. Then he looked at Shania's family.
I can't give you justice. This jury has given you what we as humans, the best we as humans can do to give you justice. Justice would be if I could reverse all of this, and I can't.
Brian tried to speak with jurors about their decision. All of them declined any interviews. This is the first time since 2007 a jury in Cumberland County has sentenced someone to death, and the first time in North Carolina in more than a year.
Okay. There, I just saw something the other day. Okay, this was from 2018. The determination of whether to declare a mistrial and whether to substantial and irreparable prejudice. So they were trying to get him a new trial because I don't know why. Like, because he denied everything? It doesn't make any sense.
Cut it out.
Defendant Mario Andretti McNeil appeals his conviction and sentence of death for the first-degree murder of Shania Davis. Defendant was found guilty of first-degree murder based on malice, premeditation, and deliberation. And under the felony murder rule, with the underlying felonies being sex offense of a child and kidnapping. Defendant was also convicted of related charges of sexual offense of a child by an adult offender, taking indecent liberties with a child, first-degree kidnapping, human trafficking, and subject the victim to sexual servitude. We find no error in the defendant's trial, sentencing, and we further determine the defendant's sentence of death is not disproportionated to his crimes. Then it goes into the background of the trial, which I think was like 2 or 3 days. It wasn't very long. Okay, it was a little bit longer in transcript. All right, now. This is all the everything from the court. Everything. Oh my God. For not being that long, look how much shit is here. Why am I froze? Oh, you guys can't. Oh, I'm on the wrong page. Damn. Okay, so her mom got 17 years. And he got death. He's going to I guess lethal injection or whatever he chooses to die by. I think we have a few different things here in North Carolina. Yeah, he got the death penalty for sure. For sure. Like I said, this is the transcripts from the whole entire court filings. Like everything. Even the question, I want to see what the questions are. Yeah, so he was trying to get a new trial. Thank God they found him it not to be to where he can't get it. He cannot go through a new trial. And I am so ecstatic for that. Now I'm just keeping a close eye on him to see when his execution date may be. And I am done with my 2 stories. I will throw the link out there. Whoever wants to come up and chat, you're more than welcome to. It is open chat now. Mama, come on up. Katie, if you'd like, you're more than welcome to come up too, sweetheart. Ruby, you can come up, but let's try to stay on topic today. You tend to veer the topic away. Oh, DJ, you're more than welcome to come up too. You know that. I don't have to tell you that. Oh, Mama Bear, I got a new pair of slippers yesterday. I'm so excited. I wish I would have had them when I was at the hospital all the last 2 weeks. God, they are so comfortable. They got like that memory foam in them. I just got to keep them away from the puppies. I think the case that she's talking about, Ruby, it's not very publicized. There's not very much attention on it at all. The link that is pinned to the top of the page, and just follow the directions from there. It'll walk you step by step, sweetie. And if you have if you're on your phone, you don't have to worry about it. But if you're on a laptop or anything like that, you might need to close out the YouTube tab once you're backstage. Good morning, gorgeous.
How are you?
Here. How are you feeling?
My head eased up. Caterpillar got me some allergy medicine, and I took it on top of the rest of the VCs, and I went to bed by 5. That was like 5:20.
You know, don't tell me you need me to do something and how many hours you need me available for, because I was absolutely available all day yesterday waiting on you.
And then when I figured out you've already seen it, there was no sense in me showing it to you.
What are you talking about?
Movies.
Oh, you said you needed my undivided attention for 2 hours, so I thought it was something. You wanted to make me watch a movie with you.
Yeah, I would.
2 hours to watch a movie?
Yeah. Yeah, it made sense. You know, I like watching things that make sense. You know?
Oh, you're leaving, Ruby? Well, have a great day, sweetheart. Thank you for coming in. I really appreciate you.
No, I like her. Come back. It was fun to talk to.
She hangs out with me over there on Griff's channel, along with
Does she
DJ.
have a channel? Does she
Yeah.
have a channel?
Yes, ma'am.
What's up to her?
Here, let me get it for you.
Yeah, drop in that chat.
She's a sweetheart. I love her. She tends to confuse me, but, you know, it doesn't take much.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's interesting because she's from originally where I'm from, and yeah, it's just mind blowing. Have a good day. But yeah, I looked into that Kirby case a lot. Well, not too much, but not real bad in depth. You know what I mean? But I did look into it.
Yeah, because I asked you to look up. I couldn't remember the damn girlfriend's name at the time, though.
Yeah, I couldn't either until I started hearing it. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's that chick.
Like, she was all smiley, go happy. I'm going to do dishes here in a minute.
I think it's her mama and her daddy and her.
Oh, yeah, it is
That's
them. That's why all 3 of them been arrested.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's just, I don't. And he had that, wasn't he the one that had the silver business of the coins?
Yeah,
all the different,
it was weird how she said once they got together, he quit carrying the gun and he quit having anything to do with the guns.
But why would he change that? There's no reason for him to change that because he still has the same amount of money, if not more.
And then the criminal's dad stole his silver, but yet she has a picture with her and a friend holding a gun. And the same gun that was supposedly, I'm not saying it's the same gun, but it's the same type of gun that shoots the bullets that supposedly shot him.
And how are you going to go outside and not see him? You're turning all the way around with a child.
How are you going to climb a hill with your sick kid attached to you like that?
You crazy as hell. These people don't. I don't know. I guess they needed classes or something in school to learn how to lie, because they damn sure cannot lie. I mean, if you're walking outside, you're looking all the way around you. You say you're looking all the way around you. You're looking all the way around you. You don't see a body laying there. Like,
if y'all hear anything in the background, Ethel's making breakfast for himself.
I want some biscuits and some bacon.
I don't have any bacon. He has sausage. I said, if you hear noise in the background, Ethel is making breakfast. And then Mama Bear said she wants some breakfast. Well, she wants some biscuits and bacon. But we don't have bacon. You have sausage. I don't know. Not that I'm allergic to it. I don't know how to make it. And I choose not to make it because I don't want to make it wrong, and then you be all bitchy about it. So. Well, you know how to, you seem to know the recipe very well.
Yeah, I made it.
Okay. I don't eat it, so it doesn't. It's not something I want to make. He's been annoying me since like 4 o'clock this morning.
Why are y'all up that early? What in the world?
I went to bed at like 8 something, and I was back up at like 1:30, 2 o'clock. And I woke him up because I let the puppies and the old one in his room, so that way I could let Eva out. And she didn't come out till like 2 o'clock this morning.
You fell asleep?
I'm sure it is. The only gravy I know how to make is brown.
I love making chocolate gravy.
The only kind of gravy she
No,
knows how to
not
make
chocolate.
It's
beef gravy, like
the only
brown
gravy she
gravy.
knows how to make it out of is a jar.
That too. No, I know how to make the ones out of the packet. I make the brown gravy all the time.
I make chocolate gravy all the time.
And you should have packet gravy up there.
Sausage gravy and milk gravy.
Dan, you should have the gravy up there. And you have biscuits in the freezer. You're going to stay down in the comments, DJ? I see how you going to be. I see how you going to be, mister.
Lurking.
No, he's talking. He's not lurking.
Come on, Mr. DJ. You're the other guy I like talking to. Come on. Us. I mean, I like talking to people that make sense, that can make sense.
Oh, don't get him started, please.
Yes, we need a good conversation.
Don't get him started. It's too early in the morning. Come on, DJ, bring your butt up here. You know you want to.
10:30.
Well, it's 10:30 our time. Mama Bear, it's only 9:30. DJ, it's probably, I think it's like 8:30 there.
GT?
Hey.
Oh, whatever.
In South Carolina, it's the same time, man. Still East Coast.
Who's in South Carolina?
GT? Yeah.
I didn't say GT. I said DJ.
That's what you call yourself.
No, not that DJ.
We do like you up here. I liked you up here the last time I was talking to you.
I love you up here. You know that. You save my life sometimes when my computer likes throwing me out.
Have you noticed?
He actually, because he can keep the chat going. He can keep talking. There he is.
It's been so quiet on them streets.
It hasn't. I'm so glad. You see that though. You know who's missing.
What's happening?
Good morning.
You guys ready to yell at me?
Why not?
Very seldom do I yell.
I don't. I don't care what anybody else thinks about somebody and what their capabilities are. I'll tell you this: I have 5 kids, and my kids. I had one of my kids was born October 1st. Hunting season started the 15th of October.
Mm-hmm.
His mom went elk hunting with me. And I mean, anybody's welcome to come out and go with me elk hunting. That's fine. But the places that I go, and we had Pat on in a belly carrier,
Mm-hmm.
she kept up with me elk hunting.
Yeah, but was your baby sick?
Did it have
No.
the flu? There's a difference.
Yeah, but
that's what I'm saying.
my-
There's a whole difference. That baby was supposedly had the flu.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean it can't ride in a carrier.
Oh, well, true. That is true. That
Very
is
true, but you got to think a screaming, crying baby is not. You know, you're not gonna be able to enjoy anything, and you
Yeah,
know,
but, yeah, but what,
your
what
anxiety.
you're
did you have to travel up steep hills with a baby?
Dippy, you have not watched any of my hunting videos.
You're
have you?
always in a vehicle.
When I do the video, no, not always. Last year, when I went and set out my game cams for hunting season,
Yeah.
that's where I hunt. It's all canyons. You drop down 500 feet, and it's almost straight down
But
into
you're-
draws, and then you climb out of them.
So let me say this: your wife is used to where you go. Used to going where you go hunting, right? So she's used to that terrain.
I'm not married. Let's get that established
Okay,
first.
well,
I divorced her ass.
Your baby mama.
Oh my God, I love it.
So your baby mama is used to that terrain, is what I'm trying to say.
What I'm saying is, if she knew where the stand was, she'd been there before.
She didn't know where the stand was. She just knew it was straight back. If she knew it was there, she would have had said something about getting there, because there's no way for her to climb down in that hole and back up the other side of it to
But
get
hold
to
on.
that deer stand, which was
But hold
another 100 yards away.
But hold on, think about it. If she's going up, she's going to turn and look behind her. She's
Yep,
going
and
to
see him
laying there.
No, yeah, but guys, I'm not arguing for her. I'm just saying that, I mean, that would be like me sitting here going, Dippy, you can't even walk around the block. Who are you trying to kid?
She can't. She needs bubble wrap.
Yeah, that's my whole point is,
Right.
I just, that kind of shit just irritates me. But then when I was raising my kids and their mom would say, you can't do that. And it's like, don't tell them that.
Right.
The only thing that they can't do is what you put in their head.
Exactly. But no, I didn't know you had videos up or hunting cam or.
I don't do the true crime thing. Everything I do is pretty much outdoors.
Oh, nice.
I realized something. All I do is swipe my finger across the mouse pad and it knocks me out.
Well, stop swiping.
I am.
Yeah, swiper, stop swiping.
That's all I'm doing. Let me walk quick.
Now that's
Do it again.
I mean, I don't buy that girl walked out to the hunting stand. But
I don't buy it. She didn't see him.
Well, that is, I mean, if he was laying by where those toolboxes were,
Yeah.
That'd be pretty hard to miss.
Thank you. That's my point. It'll be pretty hard to miss no matter how you walk out that back door, that garage, or up that terrain, through that trail to get to that little stand. You're gonna have to turn around and look. Your eyes are gonna focus directly on that toolbox. Why? Because it's a shiny object for one. Two, you know it's there.
Well, the thing that bugs me the most is why didn't she have any concern if he'd been missing for a full day and a night, and then the next day she went to his parents' house and
You're still gonna back out the damn driveway. From what I seen on that thing, you're gonna back out that driveway. You're gonna see that man laying there.
You
He's
would-
probably sitting in the yard with his keys in it.
And his phone.
All his shit's still there. There's not no
Yeah.
way. You ain't finna come to my house and your shit's still finna be there and me not look every nook, crevice, cranny, everything. I'm gonna look at the cabinet. Okay?
Uh-huh.
Because no, you're not gonna do that. I'm sorry. No female is gonna do that. You're not just gonna like be so blind that you're not gonna see this dead man laying there.
Okay, how old is this case and how old is the girl? Because one thing that we're overlooking is nowadays they're putting "don't forget the baby" little voice in cars because these kids don't even remember they have a kid and it's in a car seat in the back seat.
No, they remember. They just don't think that it's going to happen to them. They think it's going to be a quick second, then they get to talking to whatever, doing whatever they're doing. And then
Well, I agree with you, but
and then it's all boo-hoo me. I lost my baby. It was a total accident. No, you actually killed that child.
no, I agree with you. But I mean, I don't know. For me, situational awareness is huge. I don't care where I'm at. I know where people are. I know how far away they are. I mean, that's just, I don't know if that's because I grew up in the country and that was.
You pay attention to your surroundings.
Yeah. I mean, you have to. But I'll see people in a store. If I go grocery shopping, I could do a video. If I put my GoPro on, I could literally just turn it on, walk through the store, and there's people that don't even have a clue anybody else is around them.
Right, at all.
And I don't, it doesn't make no sense to me. How can you not have...
They stuck in a phone or in La La Land somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I think she was 24.
Yeah, so she would be in that age group of where she needs that little voice in her car to tell her check for the kid.
She needs it stamped on her forehead. Check for your husband.
Yeah.
Because she knew where the kid was.
I know
now
it
where's
always.
the kid? Who's got the kid now?
I know it always seems like I'm skeptic about everything, but
Oh, I am.
it's just kind of one of those things to where
When you've been in situations, certain situations, you question everything.
well, I was raised. That's the way I was raised. I mean, okay, I'm 57, so I grew up when you questioned everything. It didn't matter what it was.
Exactly. It's like I question these people here now. I mean, I still question them.
Uh-huh.
I may know you, may see you every single day, but if you do something crazy, I'm going to ask you what the hell's going on or what's this or I'm going to look at you crazy.
Yeah, what are you thinking?
Right.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is we have this whole electronic generation that really doesn't have a clue.
Right.
If they can't look it up or watch a video on it,
They don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
They do not know how to do it. If it does not come with a camera or a cell phone, I mean, no. Listen to me. I can't talk this morning either. I got dyslexia and can't talk. If it don't come with a computer or a cell phone, they ain't going to be able to do it.
Right.
That's just like my 18-year-old daughter right now. She's like, Mama, I don't want to drive one of these cars you got to push button. I want to know how to drive a real car. You know, the kind that you put the key in and turn and it cranks up.
Uh-huh.
And I said, you talking about automatic? She said, yeah, Mama. She says, but your car's not that. She says, your car's got that thing in the middle. I said, you're talking about a standard? She says, yeah, I want to learn how to drive that.
That's what all of my kids learned how to drive. It was a standard.
Yeah, see, all of mine know how to do it too. And that's what they first learned on.
Yep.
Because if you can drive a standard, you can drive anything.
Yep.
That is a proven fact.
I would rather have a standard, to be honest.
Yeah. They actually save money on gas and everything.
Yeah. Well, that and I mean, it just is, you have to pay more attention.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I just was getting irritated with that whole situation of you can't do this. And it's like, wait a minute.
Yeah. No, we know you can. It can be done. But the way that she portrays it, it's not going to happen. Like they say, if it don't make sense, it didn't happen.
Well, my whole thing would have been, as soon as she would have said it, I would have said, okay, just out of curiosity, where's the clothes that you wore up there?
Right. Stuff like that. Ain't none of that been mentioned to my knowledge in any of this. None of the questions we would come out and ask, like the in-depth questions, are even asked. I mean, they might have been asked then, and it's just not known to the public. But they made everything else aware.
Yeah.
Why not make aware of the questions that was asked?
Yep.
I don't know. To me, they got too light of a sentence, but I can understand because still yet they don't know where the kid is.
Well, see, and that's why not put that out? Well, unless they're trying to keep the little girl safe.
Right.
But I mean, if she's with his parents, and by rights, that's where the kid should go.
Question is, standard transmission the same as a manual transmission? Because I'm old and can drive a manual.
Yes, it's the exact same thing.
All right, I'm back. Sorry.
Welcome back. I don't know. Mine's just right there in the little column thing. And I gotta do my clutch feetsies and
Yeah, it's either 5-speed or standard, and then you have standard and manual is same, and then you have automatic, which I only can drive an automatic.
You can't even walk. You can't drive an automatic.
Hey. Watch it there, mister. Watch it.
We done said
you're not far from the truth, but watch it.
Some
things just don't say out loud. Think all day long, but don't say it.
I'm gonna have to check Temu and see if they had the bubble wrap for adult size.
Hey.
What?
All right now. All right now.
Good.
We're gonna stop. It's not pick on Dippy.
Yes.
We are picking on these monsters, not Dippy. We can even pick on your favorite creator, but we're not.
But it's not fair. They won't come on the panel. I won't pick on them though. I really won't. I will. I can't even be nice. But they won't.
I'm unsure what's going on. I was making breakfast. We were just talking about the Kirby Carpenter case.
Yeah. I remember Bobby Rise learning to shoot. Well, I bet you had to replace some clutches too.
I was gonna say them clutches got burnt out. Because I know I wouldn't even try. My mom used to burn out my dad's clutches like every other month or so. I was like, don't you think it's time just to get her an automatic? Save you about $160.
I would have made her help change the clutch out one time, and that would have been the end of that.
Well, he didn't even change it. He took it to the shop.
I like doing that stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, once you pull that transmission out once, you figure it out. I don't want to do this for a while.
Man, I'm going to tell you, them transmissions are heavy.
Well, if you have the things to do it to make it easier for yourself.
Jack and stuff like that.
It's just when you ain't got like the lift and stuff.
Yes, ma'am.
I wonder how a person would find out if that little girl got to go to his parents?
That's going to be hard unless you get a hold of the family. And I've emailed the sister. She emailed me back a couple of times, but that was before all when I first found out about it.
Dippy, why don't you just, I mean, at the very worst, the worst she could do is say, that's a little bit personal and I don't want to answer, but what would happen if you just say, I talked about this and people are more concerned about if the little girl is in
your custody,
a safe environment, and just tell her, I understand if you don't want to answer, but
it might be on the Facebook group. Oh, that's right. I'm not. There it is.
I don't have Facebook, so.
Meow.
Yeah, I would. I mean, it would be more. To me, that should be like the forefront of it. I mean, I don't know if that makes sense, but just knowing that the little girl's safe and not just out there and the family's still trying to find her.
Yeah. At least we know.
I'm sure the baby was with the mom.
All I know is she sure had a big old cheeseburger grin in that mugshot.
She did, didn't she? She was proud of what she did.
Like Ronald McDonald.
Yeah. That was...
I mean, how do they do it? Do they just wake up one day and just say, "Hi, I'm going to go decide I'm going to go and unalive this person"? I mean, is that what happens?
I guess.
I have no idea.
What really drives the person to do that?
Right, Dave.
Makes you want to question what's in their head.
What was that?
I said it makes you want to question what's inside their head, what's going through their heads.
Hi.
Well, in that situation, I would think it was all about money. And her thinking that she could have it all if he wasn't around.
Yeah.
Because, with it being for her daughter, she gets it anyway.
Well, the daughter and the son would.
Yeah, they get it split up, but what I mean is they literally she has control over.
I don't think she would have had control until she was over 21.
No, not the baby. I'm talking about the mother.
I am too. She would have control over the bank accounts until that child was 21.
Something like that. That's very possible. It would all go into trust.
Yeah.
And then, there might be the monthly allowance to make sure the little girl had everything she needed, but
I didn't think about that.
Because it sounded like she was getting...
Trixie, leave the dog alone. Leave the dog alone. Kitty.
And you tell Ruby, stay on topic, and we listen to you talk to the dog.
Well, my dogs are getting attacked by the cat, and the cats are attacking each other. The dogs are waiting on my husband because they want him to take them out. They don't like when I take them out. I don't like taking them out. They trip me too much.
I ain't saying it. You said to not pick on you.
They do, though.
There's the next site I'm going to.
So, I'm gonna fucking phone.
Your mom.
Nope. 800 number. This week coming up, the 7th is the first day of Hanukkah. So I am gonna
That's my birthday.
do each night do a live stream of me lighting each candle. Well, I'm not doing candles this year. I went out the easy way and got an electric one.
You cheater.
Yeah, I gave my candle one to my daughter. It's so expensive to keep them candles, man. They are like expensive. But I'm not gonna do the prayer, and I'm not gonna sing. I'm not gonna do nothing like that. I'm just gonna light each light each night. That's it. And it goes from what, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, the 14th.
Bye, guys.
8 nights it goes for. I hope everybody comes and joins us. If not, that's okay. I understand. No, not really, but I'll pretend to understand.
Well, it all depends on what time it is. Kind of like your morning lives.
Hey.
You go live at 4 in the morning, my time.
Right. Or in my brain.
Well, it depends on where I'm at, because I don't usually at my house. I wait till about 7, which would probably be 4 your time. 7 or 8 in the morning. But if I'm babysitting, I tend to go about 4 a.m., 4:30 my time, so that way I'm up and I'm able to get my nieces ready and stuff. Because my oldest niece loves to say hello to Mama Bear and Ghost. She loves talking to them. Maddie. She loves. Except for the other morning. She said she didn't want to talk. She didn't want to get out of bed. She didn't want to go to school.
She didn't have nothing to say.
Moody.
I was like, all right, well, it don't matter if you want to talk, but you are going to school. And if I got to call Daddy, you're going to be in trouble. I said, you know what's going to happen then. She jumped up out of bed and got on the couch and said, I'm cold. I said, well, get dressed. You won't be cold no more. Sounding just like my mom when I said that shit. I was like, all right, time to stop.
Back on. Ethel, keep your clothes on.
She said, keep your clothes on, Ethel.
Don't look.
Oh, Lord.
I keep trying to figure out at what point did I become those old men I used to hear when I was a kid saying, these damn kids, they don't know nothing.
When we turned 40. That's when it happened.
And it seems like every year it gets worse.
Yes. Yes, I totally agree.
Oh, that works too. I didn't think about that.
What?
Because I started decorating for Christmas, and
Everything's in a fucking way.
he says everything's in a way. But I just realized instead of hanging the leashes up on the hooks, I can hang them up on the shelving thing I have right next to the door. He doesn't knock anything over though. He hasn't knocked anything over there yet, or the tree. It's my tree I'm worried about when I get ready to put it up. Wherever I can put it up, because with this big dog kennel in my living room, it's going to be hard to do anything. I want it. Prixie, stop being a little prick. Get out here. Prixie. Get out. Get out. Jackass. Such a little punk today, man. Somebody want a kitty?
No.
Giving them away for free.
I'm taking mine to my
You're being too mean.
granddaughter.
Kitty, you better be nice.
So what's this crazy lady doing commenting on my post the other day? Like she
Who?
got knowledge.
What did she say? Oh, I don't even want to know.
Not knowledge. Not knowledge.
Oh.
The other one.
The other one. Her sidekick, you mean?
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck. In a way, she acts like she's this detective. And then in a way, she acts like she was there 100% of the time. And then in a way, she just acts like she has no knowledge of what the fuck she's even talking about. Like that spaceship that left Earth.
The aliens came.
I'm wondering if CW didn't give her the tinfoil hat. Because she got some audacity commenting on my shit like she was there. Like I told her, I don't know, I wasn't there.
Neither was I. Hi, baby boy.
I mean, people like that really fucking annoy me. I'm trying to say it with a straight face, DJ. Shush. I don't even know you. Read my mind right there.
He knows what you're thinking. He's been paying attention to you.
That's some telekinesis bullshit. But she's somebody that needs to be looked at.
There's a lot of people who need to be looked at.
And I say that to say this because of the wording she uses.
Well, she's not the only one. There's another one that's like her.
Oh, this one's an in-depth. This one's trying to contradict what was said to me.
There's two of them though that are like that.
No, you know this one. You know this one.
You got LR and PT.
LR.
I know, but PT's just the same. Not GT. PT.
But I'm trying to figure out who PT is. Just a minute.
Hold on. I'll put it in the back chat if I can figure out where it's at.
I don't know what that button is. You got us on another string thing. Is this the one we watched the movies on? Oh no, this is the one I recorded Doug on.
Where's the back? Oh, duh. It's over here to the side.
Come on, Dippy, get with it.
I'm telling you. No, I can't stand that.
I'm saying both of them are like the same.
No.
You say something and they got something to contradict you with. Because they automatically know.
She tried to tell me something wasn't said on a conversation that I specifically had.
You love that, don't you?
Well, did they?
Who?
Did they throw the "you're crazy" part into it?
I didn't know if you figure out what you were not.
That's when I get pissed. Is when you absolutely.
You absolutely what?
When you absolutely know what's going on, and then somebody gets caught, and it's like, "Oh, you're crazy. That never happened."
Exactly, and you got to fucking prove.
Lucky I can't drag your ass through this screen because I'd choke you out and stuff you back through.
Hi, how are you, my sis? Get.
Oh my. Great minds think alike.
I'm a harmless damn dog. Go lay down somewhere. Or put you in a kennel.
She's always hollering here. I'll tell you good morning.
I'm not trying to yell, but these dogs just drive me crazy. Oh my gosh. Lord have mercy, help me. Please.
They did. They told you to quit getting dogs, and you keep bringing them.
Look, I ain't trying to get them, okay? I'd rather collect all the cats.
My
Well,
two finna go to Oklahoma.
What is the chance that while I was up at UNC, I met one of the people that have the support dogs that go around the hospital cheering people up?
Uh-huh.
And I gave him our card for our numbers and stuff. So he wants like 2, maybe 3 more to train like that. He's like, well, how much do you charge? I said, if that's what you're going to do with the dog, I'm not even worried about money. Like, as I know you're not hurting the dog, you're actually doing something good with the dog.
And how many dogs did you say you had left?
Too many.
Okay, well, he can have
Puppy-wise, I think there's 12.
Okay, well, he can have 12.
Oh, yeah, you can have them all.
Hell, I gave them away for you.
how many dogs do you have?
Too many.
She got 12 puppies.
23 including the puppies.
And then I got more adults than I do puppies.
23? Y'all need to get
No,
this.
I'm joking. I'm joking. I have more puppies than I do adult dogs.
It's time to get rid of animals.
I got 23 altogether, and 12 of them are puppies.
Anybody want a dog? Free dog, free dog. Anybody want a dog?
You're
Is there a
most of them are
reason?
outside for
5 on 1 litter and 6.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the
4 on that
little
litter
boy
and
over
5
there, then the 2 in your room.
No, we got 5 on that litter and 4 on this litter. 5 and 4, 9.
Okay,
Got
go let
9
them
puppies,
out.
Not 12.
Go let them out.
No,
We got
I'm saying
12
9
because I'm
puppies.
adding that one and little girl.
I am cutting her. There's only 3 puppies in here, including the little girl is 4.
No, little girl, outside.
So how many females and how many males?
I know, I didn't say that. That's what I'm saying. 12 altogether that we can get
I'm
rid
just
of.
saying, puppy wise, we got 9 puppies, not 12.
No, we got, little boy right across from Junior is a puppy still. Not
Oh, I'm
Tank.
gonna keep it. Yeah, them are grown. They're
not grown.
Almost a year.
Who?
Go man of his Spud.
Oh, bitch boy.
Yeah, he's almost a year almost.
I call this dog bitch boy because every time I walk near him, he runs and hides in his damn dog house.
Oh,
What kind of dogs are they?
Huh?
What kind of dogs are they?
They are, some are blue pit and American, and some are American red nose.
Okay. Free dogs, blue pit and American, red nose. Free dogs. How many girls you got?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 girls and 6 boys. Come here, Blackie.
Wow.
The only way I get him out is food, Dan. And I'm not giving him food after him getting sick yesterday.
Guys. Get out of here. Get out of here. Come on.
Dan FS said, Mr. Dippy, to the
Get outta
corner,
here.
sir.
Come on, Daisy. Come on, Daisy.
You hear me?
Uh-huh.
FS said, Mr. Dippy, to the corner, sir.
I need
Right.
And he's like, what'd I do? She always puts him in the corner. She's been putting him in the corner for almost 2 years now. No, almost 3 years. I'm sorry. She's been with me since my channel first started.
Dippy, why don't you take pictures of your doggies and do a live about them and give them away for free and let people come get them? I know it sounds crazy,
They're
but
blue and American and red pit.
okay, I forgot.
So they're
the word.
both. There's 2 different kinds.
Okay. Well, you can fill them in on that. It's just pitties.
Oh, she said because he's just here, that's why. She loves putting him in a corner. There for a while, OG was doing it too. And he's like, that just don't feel right.
Definitely.
I don't know. You don't have all these strange YouTubers coming to my damn house for a dog.
No.
Puppy
No, you can make
Look,
them back.
litters were both oopsies. The neighbors that had just bought the house next door let their dogs run. And these dogs came over and impregnated my puppies without our dogs without us knowing. What? Hold on. Move. What are you calling me for? I can't get him up. The only way I get him up is with food.
I can't get him up. The only way I can get him up is with food. Oh, somebody got that.
I might have to go back and clip that one.
That was good.
I'm trying to figure out this 23 dog thing.
Yeah. Wow. Like, OMG. Like, she needs to give them away for free. Somebody gonna be calling somebody.
Yeah, I couldn't.
Too, so. And I know they feed them.
Holy crap. I have 2 blue healers. Well, one's mine, one's my son's. And I mean, they're really no problem. But still, 50 pounds of dog food is $30 now.
Yeah.
And every other month, I have to buy a bag of dog food.
Shoot, we have to buy one every 2 weeks. A 35-pound bag of dog food because we have a 185-pound Italian cane corso full mastiff. And then we have I would say it's about 70 pounds blue chick and red heeler mix. And then we have 3 cats. So we buy the cat food, with the, with the dog food.
Move.
Was you guys making money off of those dogs, or?
No, not these. We did start out breeding them, and we had 2 or 3 of them were UKC registered. And like 5 years ago, we got out of it. And we ended up having 1 litter after that. And we got rid of all of them but 1. And then these 2 were oopsies. But all the other ones were planned.
Come in. Come in.
I thought you hit do not disturb.
That's my house phone.
Oh, yeah, that one's a little
Yeah, people
harder.
still have those.
At the back, just unplug it. It'll still ring on their end, but you won't get it.
What do you want?
$1 million.
Something on the box.
Oh, answer. That's her calling. She's calling you.
Who?
F6.
That she's not calling me.
Oh.
Trust me, she's not calling me. She just said something like, "Bitch, answer your phone." I promise you. Y'all better cut it out.
Well, I mean, I don't know who got your number, who don't have your number, so.
She told you, she said, I'm not. She wouldn't call my house anyway. She'd call my cell phone.
Yeah.
There's only a couple people that actually call my house.
When did they come up with the AOL again? When did that come back?
I don't know. When I was in the AFC the other day, modding, I thought he was joking.
Yeah, he wasn't joking.
And I was like, they don't have AOL no more. And he's like, they came back with internet, not just like a web browser, but it's internet itself. And he said they conned him into being the test dummy. And I was like, oh, Lord.
Well, it sucks. They need to debug it.
I can't believe that they actually have it back. It sucked to begin with because it was dial-up. Obviously, as Wi-Fi, it isn't any better.
Girl, I remember my old AOL account. I just don't remember the
I
password.
still have mine. I know what mine is. Mine is my email.
The
The ALMBLD78. That was my screen name for AOL.
Wow.
And I just never changed it.
I feel so old.
I can't believe I still remember that.
I know,
If I
right?
didn't use it for this many years, because I've had my Yahoo mail for like since I was 18. That was my very first. Yeah, it was Yahoo. It was my very first email, I think. No, the AOL was my very first email, and then Yahoo was my second. But I just transferred the name over because it was so much easier for me to remember.
That's crazy.
AOL. Kids these days wouldn't know how to handle the dial-up.
No, they wouldn't.
Or that. Well, they might like the party line, but we're that old, y'all.
I just, yeah. Yes, I hear it in my head now.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yep, it used to do that all the time. Like you get connected and all of a sudden you're disconnected real quick. Especially if there was multiple people. Because like at that time with AOL, like there was multiple people on the same line as you for the
Right.
even if you were hooked up to your own phone line, but there was other people that were using the same.
Yeah, and it was like a one shot in a million to get into the internet.
Mm-hmm.
I hated dial up.
Anybody would call, it would disconnect you.
Yes, the dial up.
You get yelled at for being online when people needed to use the phone.
Or they can't get through for calling you because the line's busy. Them were the good old days.
Look, she said I handed my grandbabies a rotary phone and asked them to make a call. They couldn't figure it out.
No way.
I told my daughter, I was saying something about a payphone. She said, "What is that? Is that like a where you have to buy minutes for your phone?" And I was
No
like, "No, honey." I said, I don't know what it was just before they took the payphones out, what it cost, but like when I was growing up, it was like 10 cents, 15 cents, 25 cents. Like it would go up every couple of years. Last I remember was like 35 cents a call.
Shoot, we still have payphones here.
We
We have a couple on display, but you can't use them.
Shit, they don't have payphones or none of that around here. People rob shit too much. I'm so serious.
I think that's why they started taking them all out.
Vending machines.
That and they weren't being used as much.
These people are crazy these days.
I know they were using them in New York because they used to call operator all the time up there. Hell, I remember we had call wait in, and it was like if it was late at night, like after a certain time, my mom cut me off from using the phone. So what I would do if somebody said they were going to call me at a certain time or they were going to call me back or whatever, I would call another line that had like an answering machine. And if y'all don't know what an answering machine is, it's this little machine that took like a little tape and you hook it up to your phone and it would click over and take the message for you.
What
It's kind of like a voicemail, but this is an actual machine.
What about the caller ID box?
Oh my God, they were so annoying. Yeah, it wasn't attached to your phone. I mean, it was, but it wasn't attached to a cell phone.
No, it was corded line. You had it on a cord that was attached to a cord.
Attached to your phone. But what I would do was like, get down off of there before I knock you out. Get down.
That's what you Did you get that one too, DJ?
Anyway, what I would do was call like the place that I worked. I worked at a skating rink, so I would call the skating rink, knowing that they had the answer machine, and I would sit there and let it play all the way through, hang up and call back, play it through, hang up and call back, just waiting on the person to call me. Many nights.
Damn.
I remember when cigarettes were in a machine that you could buy at like the pizza place or just a bar. You just put the money in and you pull the thing and they come out. Yeah, I remember that. I remember going to the store for my mom and aunt with a note saying it was okay for me to pick up their cigarettes.
Yeah.
Sometimes with money, sometimes without money, depending on what store I was at.
That's crazy. But
Yep.
yeah, I remember that too.
The kids these days would never be able to handle what we had to go through growing up.
Shit, no. They would be having some emotional damage for sure.
Sometimes I'd like to put my daughter and my nieces, all 7 of them, and my goddaughter in a box and make them live like we lived for like a week back then. Take turns on the phone, no cell phone, no internet.
They're gonna go insane.
A TV with an antenna with a piece of aluminum foil on top.
The rabbit ear.
That you only got like 13 channels.
If that.
If that.
And you got the ants across.
If you got 13 channels, you was high class.
Ain't it? We only got 3 to 5. The fuck?
Well, you were supposed to get, if you looked at the dial, there was 13 channels.
You were a millionaire, Diffie.
Yeah, but out of those 13, 3 of them worked.
Yeah.
Right?
3, what was it, 3, 10, and 12?
So you were high class if you were able to get like HBO and Cinemax, and that's high class back then.
Oh yeah, I got 4 of them wooden spoons still.
Wooden spoon, I had to go cut my own switch.
Yeah, I was going to say the switches worked very well in my family too.
The piss out
I'm
of
not
lemon.
gonna lie, I got my ass whooped by my grandma and mom. Yeah, mom used to whip my ass. Dad never touched me. I was angel in Dad's eyes. So anytime he knew I was being punished, he'd come in and unpunish me, and 5 minutes later I was back on.
Shit.
I promise you, from the age 13 to 16, I was being grounded every day. Every day. And if I didn't, it was a miracle. Because when I turned 16, I think is when I started doing more after school activities to stay out of trouble. And so that way I could smoke cigarettes without getting in trouble. No, it might have been younger than that. I think I was 15. But yeah.
How did we live?
I'll never figure that one out.
I don't know. But we all survived. Now, y'all want to know some child abuse? Go live back then.
Shit, Chad. Go get your ass whooped with a water hose and extension cords. Then come talk
Or two.
My mama took my cell phone and grounded me. That's child abuse. You better get the hell out of here.
You got wire hangers. You got
clothes hangers.
spatulas. You got whatever was in hand's reach. You got.
Y'all better get the hell out of here with that.
Well, my uncle got his ass beat by my grandma with a 2x4.
I got my ass beat with a water hose and an extension cord and a clothes hanger. Okay, wire clothes hanger, not these plastic ones that y'all get from the store, you know, that's got the cloth on it. Yeah, not them. We talking about them metal wire hangers.
Yes. Yes. You know, mommy dearest type.
We see, I don't even need to be here on this conversation. That's gonna make me mad today.
We used to get, but we had fun too. We had freedom though. We didn't have to look over our shoulder every 5 minutes if somebody was going to try to take us.
You had to really screw up though to get well, anyway, I did. I mean, I really had to screw up to get whipped. But if I was getting whipped, I damn sure earned it.
Right? Yep. I got to admit, everything. Well, no, not everything I got I deserved, because a lot of shit I got because my brother used to love running his mouth. And if I knew the person that, say, beat him up, I got in trouble for it. I might not even have been there, but I still got in trouble for it because I knew them and they were friends of mine. Like, sorry, you know, they're his age, but they're friends of mine.
By association.
Right.
Crazy.
Until I got older, and then, you know, I was like, oh, forget this, you know, I'm gonna whoop his ass. So like they would come to me and be like, look, you better get your brother type shit. And if I find out exactly what it was that he was doing, he had a big chance of worrying about me, not them.
So you were the tomboy.
I mean, I was a tomboy, girly girl. I did a lot of different things. Like, I fit in everywhere when I was a kid and teenager. Like, I fit in with all types of groups. Yeah, the game is still the same. The players are just changed. That's it.
That's right.
That's it. Like, everything that they are doing nowadays, we have already done it.
And done it
Maybe
better.
some of us don't remember all that well, but that comes with age.
It comes back to us when we figure it out what they're doing. That's why we can tell them if it worked or not.
I mean, we didn't have the internet. You know, we didn't have all these different electronics that kids have. We were lucky if we got the Nintendo when it first came out.
Shit, we were looking at him a bicycle. What you mean?
There you go. I had a big wheel forever, and I didn't learn how to ride a bike until I was like 7, 10, something like that. I didn't know how to swim until I was 7 or 10, and I taught myself.
Shit, I had a horse, and whenever I got in anybody's hair, I had to go catch my horse, and then I would get a lunch packed, get a fishing rod, ride my horse 3 miles to the river, go fish for the day, and I better be smart enough to know if I started getting hungry, I probably should work my way back home, because it was probably getting close to dinner time.
Right? Yeah, you're lucky. Most, you know, we don't do this nowadays, but as kids, if it was nice and sunny out, we were outside, and sometimes the door got locked on us, and we weren't allowed to come back in until that street light came on.
You better drink out that water hose.
Oh, I remember the Atari. I remember that very well. But people nowadays don't know about Atari, so you have to say like Nintendo or Sega, something that comes to reference. But they're more 90s things than 70s or 80s.
Come in.
Shit, I remember going to video game arcades. There was nothing for the house. You fed the damn machine quarters and played your favorite game.
Yeah.
And they didn't have Mortal Kombat or anything like that.
No.
Miss Pac-Man, and Donkey Kong.
And Super
Frogger.
Mario Brother.
You got pinball, and the skee ball was always my favorite.
And that spaceship game, what was it?
Asteroid?
Asteroids.
Yes.
I got in trouble one year, and I wasn't allowed back in the arcade for a whole year because I picked up them skee balls and threw them at some girl because she was trying me.
Damn.
I think out of 5, I think I hit her with maybe 3. How I made it through softball, I have no idea. I wasn't the pitcher, though.
Yeah, nowadays it's child abuse. Drinking water from a water hose.
Right.
And if a grown person does it, they just think you're mentally insane.
And a lot of times we didn't have money to go to the community pool, so you know what we ended up doing? Turning on that fire hydrant.
Going out to the levee and open that levee water.
We opened up the fire hydrant. Within 20 minutes, they were there to shut it off. And about 10 minutes after they left, it was right back on. It was like everybody, all the kids in the neighborhood. So it wasn't like, they didn't get mad at us. They, maybe after like the 3rd or 4th time that day, they probably got mad. Keep coming out.
Shoot. You guys, my oldest grandson said, "Mama, can you tell me stories about the old days?" Boy, you know
I love her. I absolutely love her. She got some stories for you, that's for sure. Her kids are so adorable. They ask like the silliest questions. It's so cute.
From the old days.
But think about it, you know, compared to them, it is the older days. When we were that young, we say the same thing. Our parents back in the old days.
Did you throw something too? I just got a feeling you would have chucked something when you said get your ass out of here. 'Cause I would
Probably threw a book at the door as he was closing.
How's you?
Dog, what do you want? Can you please go away? Come here. Come on up here. I'll rub you. Come up here. Come on. Come up here, you big old goat.
She says I can't.
Oh, her grandsons are a pisser, man. Some of the questions he asks, you're like, did that just come out of his mouth?
So you got grandsons like I have them kids, huh?
Yeah, like they are just the cutest. They're so funny.
If you talk to my his son, he's done been, now he ain't but 23. He done been a logger in his past life. He done been all kinds of shit. He acts like he's so old. I tell him all the time to get the hell out of here.
Yeah, Shauna said something like that the other day. She was like, my back hurts. Isn't that a sign of you getting old? I said, you are 23 or about to be 23. You better get away from me. And I mean, get away from me now. She's like, but that's what you always say. Your back hurts when you get old. And I'm like, not at 23. I didn't. No. I said, at 23, you were a year old.
That's crazy. 8 grandsons.
She said, I take after you with a lot of things, but I'm so glad I didn't take after you with getting pregnant. I was like, I'm not going to say you were a mistake, but it was a mistake to be pregnant. I sure the hell didn't want to be pregnant at that age. Do it again. Do it again. Dumbass.
We didn't hear it. Do it again.
He scared himself and knocked over the bowl. Yeah, she has no grandbaby girls. They're all boys.
Oh my God.
She's so funny. They'll sit down to talk to her and she's like, all right, I don't want to hear nothing about no titties and ass. I swear to God, she keeps me laughing. We'll be on the phone for like 2-3 hours and not even realize how long we've been on for because she keeps me laughing. Like, our conversations just go crazy sometimes.
That's why I like being in a relaxed chat like this one, because there's no telling where the conversation's going to go, and it doesn't matter what time or how long we're on here. Everybody's having a good time, and ain't nobody fighting.
Yep.
It makes it enjoyable.
I take pride in my little chats. I really do. Because you just get in some of them chats and they just go crazy, and I'm like, whoa, hold up.
Anxiety kick, bro.
You trying to tell me you want water? Is that what you guys are trying to tell me?
Well, I mean, it hit the empty bowl because we heard it go ting. That must say, Mom, we're thirsty.
Come on, asses.
I mean, I didn't hear him call. Well, y'all think?
Oh.
Your horse needed water.
They sound like they haven't had water in hours.
Years.
Holy Christ.
What, no comment, FS?
When was the last time you gave them water?
They just had right before they knocked the bowl over.
Well, maybe you should go fill up the damn bathtub then.
I swear this the puppy is tall as hell. You know, he's only like 8 months, 9 months old. He is huge. He's gonna be really big.
Don't they know where the toilet's at?
What?
The door's closed.
Oh.
Why am I echoing?
Your guys, you don't have a dog that drinks out of the toilet?
Mine aren't allowed.
I have 3 water bowls, and my dogs, they got to go to the toilet and drink.
Mine aren't allowed to because we have well water, so they get all that stuff. It's like, ugh, I hate well water, especially after it rains. It's all red, and because we live in like red clay country. We were known as We were known as the brick capital of the United States at one point.
Huh. Did y'all have bricks?
I mean, we had plenty of bricks.
Oh, yeah.
We still got like 2 or 3 brickyards.
Is it Acme brick?
She's She's too fucking much. I'm telling you, she's too much.
Hey, I feel better today. Shut up.
Oh, there it is.
Plus, I'm unsupervised.
The ghost is gone. Oh.
Oh, I can imagine that one. Did you hear what I said?
You can imagine that one? Oh, you're unsupervised.
Yeah, Ghost ain't here to save nobody.
I know. That's why I'm glad you're over here and not wandering the streets today.
I think she does this on purpose to y'all. So I will harass y'all.
That's fine. You can harass me all you want. All of our children live on the same property as we do. Sometimes it's a blessing, sometimes it's a curse.
I wish I had a big old piece of property for all of mine. Boy, I would be okay. I wouldn't have to worry about none of them. Nothing. Then I can send them to their own section. Carry your ass on.
I wish y'all go lay down somewhere. You guys are giving my anxiety some crazy shit today. They will not stop moving.
So let me ask y'all a question. The older we get, huh?
Might have an answer.
Well, I know you do. I just don't know the right one. Now, the older we get, you know, for the ones of us that's got these kids that are like, don't want to go home. I mean, don't want to leave home, but do leave home, but like stay. You know what I mean? Okay. Does it get easier when they move away? Like, do we get like away from that empty nester thingy feeling?
I don't know. My daughter's left a couple different times to move out of state. It's lonely a little bit at first, and then you're mentally
get used to it.
Yeah, you get used to it, and it doesn't get easier. It really doesn't. Especially when I talk to her on the phone, she's like, "Mom, don't start crying." Like, but as much as I want to yank her hair out right now, like, I love my baby though.
Mm-hmm.
I always miss her when she's gone. She moved out, and she moved with her dad the day of graduation. And I had her move back the following year because that's when my dad passed away.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, she came back before that though. And then she left again, but she didn't want to tell me because she knows how sentimental I get. And she moved in with her boyfriend.
Yeah.
Then she come back for Christmas, and they broke up over that, I guess. And then she moved with her dad again. This time to, was it Missouri? I don't know where the hell he lives right now. But no, that's not what happened. She moved with her boyfriend or her dad so she could go move in with her boyfriend because she knew I would have a fit. Then she come back to visit, and then they broke up, and she went back to her dad's house. When she came back here, after not wanting to be there no more, she come back home and left like 6 months later for another guy in a different state, in Michigan. But she's been with this one for like 2 years now, so guess she was just having her fun.
I mean, I deal with it because kids are in different states. I couldn't imagine if they was no longer here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I couldn't imagine that either.
Well, you think about it, when you have kids, that's actually when you start growing up.
Yeah.
And so your adult life has revolved around taking care of your kids and everything like that. So I think the hard part is trying to learn how to live
without them.
Yeah, because everything you know is now gone, and what the hell do you do with yourself?
Yep.
She said I cried when they first started moving out, and after the last one, I told him to put a stripper pole in that room and a hot tub, fill them up so they can't move back in. She lives in Missouri, so
That's okay. I've been to Missouri too. I got kin folks there I don't talk to too.
she'd be a fun landlord. As
We don't
long
have to do all kinds of
as you
stuff.
don't have any crazy charges like sex charge crimes.
No.
She doesn't take them very lightly.
No, I have no insurance. I have a speeding ticket and no seatbelt ticket. That no.
Oh, she's got them too.
Oh, well, no.
She's funny. She still lives in a city where they barter and trade.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to live down there in Cape a long time ago.
But what was I gonna say?
We don't know.
I don't know either.
We were talking about kids growing up, moving away, and not being around anymore.
Oh. So I keep asking my daughter if she's going to move back to Michigan. She's like, I wouldn't mind going back, but I know her boyfriend doesn't want to go back there. He doesn't want to be nowhere near his family.
Right.
I'm in close to capital Sedgwickville.
I went to the Trails of Tears.
Capital Sedgwickville. Capital.
Have you ever heard of the Trails of Tears? It is so great. I took the kids there.
Trails of Tears.
Yes. Oh my God, it's so pretty. I think I got pictures. I'm gonna have to look through my pictures.
It sounds like it's sad.
Well, it's from the old ancient Indian days. I don't remember exactly how it goes. I can pull it up for you and send it to you right quick. But it is real beautiful. I mean, and it's amazing. My daddy was actually born on the other side in Illinois.
The Trail of Tears was a deadly route Native Americans were forced to follow when they were pushed off ancestral lands.
Got it.
Yeah, a lot of them froze to death because they moved them in the wintertime.
Yeah. Yeah. I've got pictures. I'll show you.
Oh, it's in the Fort Smith National Park?
No, it's in Missouri.
Yeah, it says Fort Smith National Park Service.
Oh, I don't know. It might be. Might run through there. I don't know.
I thought it was in Oklahoma.
Mm-mm.
What state did it start in and it ended in Oklahoma? The actual trail that they made them walk? All right, now I gotta look.
I'm doing it.
That's what I'm doing too.
All right, I sent it through the Wapika, whatever, Waba word. Wikipedia.
Perish from cold and hunger on the long and treacherous trek from their homeland near Smoky Mountains to the new government designated lands in the eastern Oklahoma. You're right. It took approximately 11 weeks during the fall and winter to cross 60 cold and rainy miles between Ohio and the Mississippi rivers. Andrew Jackson who was president during the Trail of Tears. President Andrew Jackson signed the Indian Removal Act of 1830, which required Native American tribes in the southeast of the United States to cede land and relocate to federal territory west of the Mississippi River.
And that is how Oklahoma got its name, the Indian Territories.
Yep. But yeah, it's real pretty there, especially in the evenings and at night. I mean, in the mornings, early mornings with the fog. It is so pretty there. At that drop off, looking at the waters. We all need to get together and go on a field trip and do a live on the field trip. Yes, ma'am. Me and you both. Share your screen or something, Dippy.
Oh, my bad. I don't even know what the hell I was looking at. There it is.
Lost.
Did anyone try to stop the Trail of Tears? In the 1830s, American women, including Catherine Beecher, worked to fight Andrew Jackson Indian removal campaign.
It's okay. We understood.
At the end of the Trail of Tears in March of 1839, the Cherokee established Tahlequah, Oklahoma, as Cherokee capital.
Tahlequah.
Whatever. In July 1839, two sections of the Cherokee Nation and the National Party, Ross Party, and Treaty Party met in. What's that word?
I can't see that one. The highlighted one?
Yeah.
That T word.
I don't know, but Tahlequah.
Yeah, that word.
Okay. Oklahoma to discuss a new Cherokee government. Did any natives escape the Trail of Tears? About 1,000 Cherokees in Tennessee and North Carolina escaped the roundup. They gained recognition in 1866, established their tribal government in 1868 in Cherokee, North Carolina. Today they are known as the Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians. That's none of nobody's business, all these damn questions now. who was the last Native American tribe to surrender. Nelson A. Miles caught Geronimo and his group and promised them that they would be able to return to Arizona after ambiguous time of exile in Florida. He became the last Native American leader to formally surrender to the U.S. Army.
Hey, I'll be right back. I gotta look at something.
What tribe had the most deaths on the trail? The U.S. Department of War forcibly removes approximately 17,000 Cherokee into Indian Territory, which is now known as Oklahoma. Cherokee authorities estimated that 6,000 men and women and children died on the 1,200-mile march called the Trail of Tears.
That ain't correct. Because the Florida Seminole tribe has still never signed a treaty with the United States.
That's in Broward County. The Seminole. That's where one of the hotels owned by the Seminole Indians is the hotel that Nicole Anna Smith passed away in.
That I don't know, but I do know as far as all of the tribes, the Florida Seminole are the only ones that have never surrendered, never signed a treaty. I know there was a band of Seminole that did, and then the people revolted against it, saying that the ones that signed the treaty had no authority over them.
You had no authority over it?
Yeah.
Well, I know the reservation down there for the Seminoles is very big. It's most of, eastern Florida. Move!
No.
I think you need to go out and get maybe 5 or 6 more dogs.
Yeah.
No.
At least.
At least 6. At least 6. Keep it an even number.
These two right here are about to go outside in a pen.
Did he ever finish
Inside, I'm hoping that it's the ones he wants, so that because they're house trained, you know what I mean? And other than being up somebody's butt, they're good puppies. You're Cherokee. They're frozen blueberries. Go away. Maybe they were saying, DJ, that was the last one to surrender that was forced to go down the trail.
Well, I know Geronimo used to jump the border. He would go from Arizona into Mexico, and whenever the federales in Mexico would get enough complaints or decide to come around them, then they would just jump back into Arizona. But, I mean, as far as the formal political surrender, sign a treaty, whatever, I know that and maybe that was what they considered hostile, as Geronimo was the last.
Could be.
I don't know.
I want to see something.
Never. So what are you gonna do today?
I got to run out and check and see if a lion is still roaming around. Yesterday I went out and it was about 15 feet away from the house, jumped the fence, went right through the yard, and I tracked it back to a draw where it went up, but it'd be pretty easy for it to circle around and just stay right there.
And what state do you live in?
Colorado.
Oh. And that's normal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's bears. I got game cam footage of a mama bear and her cub cutting through there. It just is what it is. Just this cat is a little bit different because, I mean, with the bears make noise. Cats are pretty silent, so it's a little bit more nerve wracking with the cat.
Yeah. I would
And most of the time you can go out and yell at a bear and a bear will run off, but cats aren't as intimidated. They'll stand their ground.
Well, what you gonna do when you find it?
All depends on the cat. I'd rather not shoot it, but at the same time, you can't have it. I mean, it literally was probably 10 foot from going into the porch at the house. And so...
Well, has it been cold?
Huh?
Has it been cold?
Well, we're right in the middle of a snowstorm.
Oh, wow.
But that's kind of why I'm dragging my feet. I figure if yesterday's tracks fill up a little bit better or get snow in them, fresh tracks, it'd be a lot easier to find.
Yeah.
I got this cool little castle that I found when I lived in Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
Let me show you. I've been to this place.
Oh, wow.
It was hand built with rocks from the Ohio River.
Huh.
This little old man trucked it every day with a wheelbarrow full of rocks because his wife wanted this house. I don't know what it's doing.
Trying to load.
I don't know why. Yeah. Look how pretty that is.
That is pretty.
There's like this, like the entrance of it. I wonder if they have it. And these hallways are small, like tiny to get through when you get up when you go inside the castle. Oh, there. No, that's the roof. That's the mountainside view of it. Oh my gosh. I want to see if they have this. There it is. Damn it. That's the walkway to go inside of it.
Wow.
Ow. It is so pretty. I'm trying to see if they got the the walkway going upstairs. I remember it being really, really small and like a spiral type staircase going up. There it is. That's the entrance. Oh my God. It's not the dogs, it's the cats. Okay. I think that Gilliton is new because I don't remember seeing that. That's the name of it. Chateau La Croche.
What a name. What a name.
There it is. Look.
Damn.
And it gets smaller as you go up.
That would make me claustrophobic.
Where's that at?
In Loveland, Ohio.
Oh.
I'm going to ask my paranormal guys that do the show, since they're in Ohio, I'm asking if they ever did the Loveland Castle. Because it is creepy. It gives you the creepiest feeling when you're in there. And that's the room that the spiral staircase leads to.
That's crazy.
And it wasn't one from like war or anything like that. A guy built it for his wife.
He loved her enough to
Shit.
build what she wanted.
Huh?
He loved her enough to build what she wanted, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of rocks.
Oh, yeah.
Christ, I'm trying to think of what it would have been like to try to place each one of them.
Right. Are they cemented in or what?
I don't know how they're in there now. I'm pretty sure they upgraded it.
Who's washing those windows?
I don't know. Not me.
Not me.
It was started in June 1929 by Henry Andrews. The castle took Andrews over 50 years to build.
I can imagine.
And he built it totally by himself?
I don't know if he did it all by himself, but that's what I heard. How many men did it take? Castle building employed about 3,000 workers like carpenters, masons, diggers, quarrymen, and blacksmiths. No, that's not this castle. Never mind. Build a castle, not.
You may have to ask it specifically.
Why did it take so long to build? Try that. You passed it. I'm thinking 50 years. If he built that by himself, that would explain the 50 years thing. Did she leave him in the process of him building it?
No, I think they both died.
Damn.
52
He got it for real this time. Oh my God. Read that last sentence.
For real this time. I guess there was a bunch of rumors, huh?
Mm. So he's really, really DD. That's crazy. I would have never thought somebody would have ever did that. Put that in there.
Started in June 5th, 1929, Chateau Le Croche was built from the vision of strength of one man, Harry D. Andrews.
Man.
The castle took Andrews over 50 years to build. Day after day, he would go down to the river, collecting stones to add to the foundation, taking his time mixing the rock with cement.
I just asked that, didn't I?
Why was it built? Was built as an expression and reminder of the simple strength and rugged gender of the mighty men who lived in knighthood was in flower. What? Y'all better leave the kitty alone. Loveland Castle was a real castle designed and built by Henry Andrews, who worked as a school teacher, building inspector, and editor. He died in 1981 at the age of 91 before the castle was finished and open to the public.
Damn.
I bet he's haunting it because he didn't get to see it.
There's obviously a lot of castles in Ohio.
Huh.
Whether you were looking for a ghost hunt or history lesson, there are 14 incredible castles in Ohio, have a lot to offer, and are well worth the visit. He united friends and volunteers to pitch in. They finished half a century later.
It's crazy.
That is a beautiful fucking hotel. I mean, castle, though. Look at that castle. It is beautiful.
Power Wars.
I don't remember it being that big. I really don't remember it being that big.
It needs to be power washed. It's dirty.
It's supposed to be like that.
Sorry. Come on, y'all. Just give me the damn water hose and the power washer and the stick for it, and I will go do this shit. Well, I ain't doing the top. You can get somebody else to do that. But it needs to be washed. I'm sorry. And then it would be pretty. And like take them vines off the side of that. That makes it look ratchet.
God, that is so beautiful. Look, there's a jail.
The dungeon, maybe?
Why would you build a jail in there?
What they got going on behind the scenes?
That's kind of what I'm wondering.
Huh. Keep scrolling. Just keep scrolling. That's a
This
dungeon.
This is
That's
the
like-
stairwell.
The stairway to hell.
Look.
Look at there. Look at that.
Old ball and chain.
Look at that. What'd I tell you?
The round table.
Now, how many rituals we done looked up and seen this same shit?
That's pretty cool.
People. No, we know. We understand.
Oh my God, I've been on for 4 hours, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to have to jump off. I've got to take a shower and go check out and see if that cat came back and get some stuff done.
Yeah, I gotta do dishes and cook yet.
I'll talk to you guys later.
It's Sunday. I gotta cook today.
What are you gonna cook?
I don't know yet.
I don't either.
Maybe some chicken. I don't know.
No.
He's got. I know. Oh, for lunch I'm making ribs that are sitting in the refrigerator. It's the kind that come already sauced.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna make them for lunch. Get them in my refrigerator, and
That's
then
it.
I know what I'm making for dinner. No more. Get away. Y'all ain't filling up on water, so you have to go out every 10 minutes. Get the hell out of there. Every 5 minutes they want water.
Well, yeah, they're minimals.
And then they piss like 5 times in 10 minutes afterwards.
They just want you to go outside with them so they can go and play. That's all this is.
Yeah, well, it's too cold. I'm not going. I mean, it's not cold, but I'm not going out there and playing with it.
I'm just telling you. But
I
all right.
I got more stuff to do. I gotta put up my Christmas tree yet. I gotta find the rest of my what is it called? My Hanukkah stuff.
Yeah. If I had a small tree, I would put it up, I think. But I don't
Both of the trees I got are 6 foot.
We don't have any of that anymore. So.
And I don't know where to put it. Actually, I do know where I'm gonna put it.
Well, you could put it right there at the kitchen.
Are you scared of your own fucking shadow, you dumbass? Like, you keep scaring yourself. The cat ain't even over there. What are you jumping for? You are the biggest scaredy cat for a pit bull.
Oh, shit. Hang on. Hang on.
Lay down, Toby. Lay down. Both cats were nowhere near you and you jumped. Come on, Mama.
Go send a video.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to get up here anyway, so if you want, call me in the group chat. I had fun today. I had I'm glad I got the 2 stories out that I wanted to get out. That's probably how I'm going to do it from now on, is just pick a couple stories and just go over them and find, anything I can on it and show it.
Yeah.
I think it'd be more fun that way. And it's something different.
It was fun.
And then we could do open chat about it afterwards.
Yeah, it wasn't no tension, no fighting, none of that.
Yeah. Or, we can have people up here to talk about it as we're learning about it.
Yeah.
So either way, we will have fun. We always make the best of it anyway.
Yeah. Sounds like a plan.
But I love y'all. Thank y'all all for coming. Thank you for whoever watches this on the replay. Leave us a comment. We love to read them and respond. Remember to smile at somebody. You never know what your smile could do for someone.
Bye, y'all.
With that being said, I love your faces, and I will see you next time.